Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. OnChain Revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystems. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for the OnChain Hour, and today's episode is going to be absolutely amazing because Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin's at 103,177. Guys, we've been telling you guys this for a long time. We've been telling you this probably for the last 2 months that we're really going to get bullish in May and June, and we were right. We are going to have an insane summer. Buy in May and go away is about to happen, and I'm really excited for this. I'm excited for what's coming next. I'm excited to be a part of crypto. Guys, see this right here? This is money. We're all about to make it, guys. It's going to be absolutely insane. I'm excited for it. So looking to get risk on right now is kind of what I'm thinking. I'm looking to get very risk on. I'm looking to potentially getting some runes, getting maybe some abstract memes, maybe some memes in general, right? We're going to be looking into a lot of different things on this channel, ways and opportunities for you guys to make as much money as possible. We're digging deep. So just stick with us, guys. We're going to be here for you every single weekday from Monday to Friday, guys, and we are going to find some gems together. Looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's get the show started. Bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's
going on, man? How's everything with you? How you feeling, man? 103. You were very conservative. You really didn't see this coming by Friday, but it happened.
Yeah, I saw us crossing 100K possibly by Sunday, but yeah, not this early. But hey, look, Bitcoin has definitely shown us that it's wanting to be aggressive, right? And now we have this expectation. We've had this expectation leading up to where we are, but now we've kind of arrived at the first steps, right? And now the targets for Bitcoin are new all-time high. When is that going to happen? Is it going to happen in the middle of May, late May, early June? We're going to find out. I think this trajectory continues up, and it tells the M2 money supply like it has been. But some indicators are showing we're starting to coil up a little bit. So maybe another big move this Friday, heading into tomorrow, which is typically kind of a choppy day. But I feel great. I feel like alts are definitely getting some energy back. We see the runes market dog crossed back over $330 million market cap. So that's exciting for the Runes ecosystem. But yeah, I'm excited overall, man. This positive energy is definitely carrying over.
Yeah, man, and the chart just looks absolutely amazing. Just staring at this thing for the last 24 hours here, and obviously, when we broke trend, we broke trend. It was game on. Ever since we broke that, we did go side. We broke trend and went sideways, right? It's at 85, and then all of a sudden, it's just been absolutely insane. This trend line is strong, but then remember, we were looking at the ETH trend line as well, and that kind of did the same thing. It's been broke trend a little longer than Bitcoin, and it's kind of following Bitcoin. Like if you look at these two charts. I mean, ETH's kind of like right here on Bitcoin. So ETH's actually going through its first, maybe a little sideways here. But dude, ETH could be back to 3,500, which, is really good because that is a sign of Bitcoin dominance dropping. And if we can get Bitcoin dominance to drop, and I feel like we've finally broken trend this way as well. All the indicators, bro, are pointing to an insane alt season and an insane type of summer.
Absolutely. And that is the one variable and indicator right now. I guess you could use just this chart. If you look at the daily candles, you can't find anything that drastic unless you go back to like early March, maybe, or late. Yeah, early March around there. And it was we'll see if this continues, though. If there's a continuation of this, Bitcoin dominance chart going down. But it is showing us possibly time for these blue chips, these alts blue chips to really get aggressive. And you know what happens after that? If there's a continuation and sustainability of this, then the mid caps will benefit and eventually all the way down to the micro caps. We'll see how long that takes to get there, though.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And what normally happens in a normal bull run, because we haven't really been in a normal bull run yet, but if you go back to 2017, you go back to 2021, you kind of see basically Bitcoin run first, Ethereum kind of run with it. And then when Bitcoin cools down, Ethereum has that big run. Then the altcoins kind of running with Ethereum calms down, altcoins really run. And then when I say altcoins, I mean like, your Cardanos, your Polkadots, your top tier, your chips, your blue chips, and then you have the really speculation happening of insanity. That's when your NFTs run. That's when your meme coins run. But it is feeling like everything's running together because everything's kind of really beaten down. But I do think we get back into that cycle of large to small, and then all not running together, all kind of just like having their own period of time where they run heavy.
Yeah, and the micros, for those to get really aggressive, I'm still in that mindset of being in that heavier risk on environment in terms of like the other catalyst that can just get the switches turned on, right? Whether that's going into quantitative easing or a tax cut or just more liquidity available to everyday people, whether they're in crypto Twitter every day and stuff. A lot of people just need more capital because some of their bags are packed already.
Yeah, that's the thing too. We need new money to come in, right? So you got to remember there is tons of money on the sidelines sitting in cash. I mean, I was listening to a stock show this morning, and this guy Triple D trader, he's on X as well. He was saying that basically that he feels like he's sitting in too much cash. He's 60% cash right now. So there's a lot of companies, a lot of traders, a lot of people that are very risk off right now, meaning they're sitting in cash, they're sitting in just Bitcoin. There's a lot of money on the sidelines. I don't think we really need that injection of liquidity. I think that injection of liquidity is just sitting there waiting for a risk on flag, and I think they just got it.
Yeah. I mean, things are definitely shaping in the direction we want it to go into, and we've all been really patient for the first 6 months of this year, or five months of this year, and so but we still have a little bit more than a half of the year to go, and I think that's going to look a lot better than the first part.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like we're about to feel some explosiveness. We deserve it. I mean, we're here every single day, right? Like everyone is watching the show. You guys been watching since January and December. You guys deserve this pump more than anything in the world because it's not been easy. You're going to see a lot of people who sidelined themselves on purpose because they couldn't deal with the volatility. You're going to see a lot of those people start coming back and having to buy your bags up 20, 30, 40%. But hey, that could still be a good buying opportunity, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. So just, that's why it's so important just to pay attention and continually learn the space, how it works, all those good things. And once you do see these opportunities pop up, you can take advantage of them.
Yeah, man, it definitely pays to pay attention for sure. Let's get into today's show, though. So Bitcoin hit 103K for the first time since January with 344,000 new wallets created amid rising FOMO. In the last 2 weeks, we've had 300,000 wallets. That's so when we talk about holders of coins, right? Like for a dog, for instance, like, yeah, a dog has 100,000 holders. Bitcoin just got 344,000 new wallets in the last week, right? So it's pretty wild that this is happening. Do you think these are new wallets, or you think that people are just kind of maybe opening up a second wallet? What do you think this continuously demand of Bitcoin wallets really means?
Phew. Yeah, that's quite a bit of new wallets, right?
Yeah,
I imagine if it's someone creating a second, third, fourth wallet, it's a small percentage of that, right? Even if you say 5% of that, that's quite a few people. But I would imagine it's people that might be new to Bitcoin too, and so they're
yeah,
trying to self custody it as well. So it's their first time to have a wallet, or it's people that want to play in this Bitcoin kind of DeFi. Now, I know that's the slower growing part of it. So I imagine this, Bitcoin's had a lot of marketing, done by the institutions the past 5 months, right? And
yeah,
going into last year, all the way through last year. So, this is probably in my opinion, mostly just new onboarded new wallets, right?
yeah.
With a mixed in of people having secondary, third wallets, and then a little bit of the whole ordinals, runes, all those things. I'd probably say I would wish that it was mostly that, but I know that it's probably just new people being onboarded Bitcoin in general.
Yeah, 100%. People coming on chain, right? Like not even realizing it. But when Bitcoin is going up, last thing you want to happen is Coinbase to stop like withdrawals, right? Kind of like I think a lot of people have that FTX type of thing on now, where it's just like I want to hold my own Bitcoin. I want to be on chain. I want to just basically saying what you just said. Basically, I want to self custody my own Bitcoin, and when you have that Bitcoin in your wallet, you might want to get a little risky with it, right? So that's why runes and ordinals are something that we are really bullish on going
Yeah.
into the summer for sure.
Yeah, and also you have to think about wallet providers too. There's a lot of wallets that have come into the Bitcoin ecosystem, and so that's generating new addresses as well.
Yeah,
So that's been a big push that I think that a lot of people haven't really been talking about is these new
yeah,
players in the wallet game doing account abstraction and stuff. So that accounts for a lot, I'm sure, as well.
yeah, 100%. Um, just a reminder for you guys, we will be doing a space later today at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is 6 p.m. UTC. So check us out late. Yesterday's was phenomenal, by the way. So if you guys are interested in checking out Bitcoin Blitz episode 2, basically, we're going to be here. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We got some amazing guests for this one. So come in, ask your questions, learn about these project guys, because a lot of them are really building something special. And just so you guys know, it's a little bit of housekeeping. Next week, we'll be starting the show 1 hour earlier, but we're going to continue all the way through. It's going to be just as long as normal. It's going to be up till that 12:30, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely want to be a part of that with us. Join us an hour earlier. It's going to be, we're going to be doing it with Tokyo for that first hour. And then the second hour is going to be our normal show, our normal on-chain hour. And the third hour is going to be our normal thing as well. So definitely want to check that out, as it's going to be crazy. A lot of content, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and these are new projects that you guys get an opportunity to learn about before the Bitcoin ecosystem really explodes, the Bitcoin DeFi side, because it's obviously there's new players coming in, there's a lot of interest, a lot of investment coming in as well. But today's is going to be focused on staking and being able to earn secure yield. And that is a difference. A lot of people are kind of like, this Bitcoin ecosystem that's growing right now. We don't know a lot of these new players. We'll get to know them. And the best thing about, this space over here is a lot of people aren't anon like some of these other chains, right? They want to show their face, they want to speak. So get to learn about these projects, because they have a lot to offer, in my opinion, especially before things really get going in the space.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't say it better myself. All right, Benjamin Cowen, Ethereum, nice bounce out of home. So this is something that we've been tracking for a long time. Let me actually show these charts. So this is a tweet from Benjamin, April 6th. He basically said, "Welcome home, Ethereum." Ethereum finally hit his home marker, which was about between 0.01 and 0.02 Bitcoin, right? That's what this line right here is. This is against the dollars, but it did come down. It smacked its home. And then Benjamin Cowen now says Ethereum is leaving home again. Ethereum went home, it took a shower, it got something to eat, and now it's back on its journey, potentially back up to 5-6K. Benjamin Cowen, he is kind of a maxi, but he's a maxi that is okay. He does get riskier. He will go into Ethereum. He will get into Solana, and I think he's doing that right now. I think he's getting a little bit more bullish. It's potentially, but his whole strategy is to get more sats, right? He's going to get into Ethereum until Ethereum, he feels like topped against Bitcoin. He's going to get into Solana until he feels like Solana has topped Bitcoin, and then potentially get more sats. That is kind of his thing. And what do you think about this? What do you think about him finally saying Ethereum is okay to leave home and go forward?
Benjamin Cowen, he seems like a very just analytical dude, right? So he's an opportunist. Like that's how I view him. He takes advantage of these opportunities, right? He's not against like Ethereum or Solana, like you mentioned, but he does know that like Bitcoin is the soundest money in our space, right? And so that's why I think whenever you mention he always goes back to sats, it's that makes a lot of sense. But he also called this pretty accurately for Ethereum to kind of get to that home base, and now it's leaving. So I'm excited about this because at least we have another shot at Ethereum getting aggressive, and I don't think people will believe it until we hit an all-time high with Ethereum though. So will Ethereum carry this momentum into, let's say Bitcoin does get to 120, chills out, goes back and forth between 115 and 120? Does Ethereum actually cross over 5,000, 6,000, that area, in a new all-time high? And what does that look like, by the way? Because that could be like the floodgates are open, because we've been waiting for that and haven't gotten that, right? And so once that event does happen, it could be kind of like everybody's like, all right, it's on now. It's time to get into a little bit more risky stuff. But it's exciting that we get another shot here, because we haven't had one from Ethereum in a while.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Ethereum is so beaten down right now that it could just do an absolutely insane run up to 10K, like in the next 3-4 months. Honestly, I just feel like the fundamentals are there. ETH is the perfect layer 0 to all these potential L1s, meaning Base, meaning Sony, meaning Arbitrum, Optimism, right? There's so many chains that are running on ETH and finalizing on ETH. And people don't really understand that ETH is so sought after on Abstract and all these chains. If there's any DeFi on any of these chains, ETH is the number one token to take yield on, right? So it's absolutely insane to me that what's about to happen. I think I love Bitcoin, but I think right now it's time to get risky. It's time to really kind of start digging into stuff that's really beaten down and no one's really talking about, because I think ETH is such an opportunity right now. But even bigger opportunity will be some ETH, DeFi projects, some ETH newer projects, some ETH meme coins. There could be a lot of X's coming from the ETH ecosystem.
There definitely could be. And also, let's not forget about the institutions that have been silently kind of acquiring it on the side, right? As everybody else is taking a dump on ETH in terms of, the reputation and talking about it in the headlines and all that stuff. And so, when everybody slept on Solana after the FTX, there was multiple times that it kind of made its bounce back, and obviously it got to be kind of like one of the main stars of this cycle, if not the main star. And so, people sleeping on Ethereum because the price hadn't done what it wanted to do. The activity on the chain has gone down. That doesn't mean that, it's not going to bounce back aggressively, right? And so especially the institutions coming in should tell you something, that they're acquiring it for a reason, right? So and again, it could be the set off kind of alarm for the rest of alt. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to a strong Ethereum. I think a strong Ethereum is good for alts. So
yeah, no, it's the number one thing that's good for alt. This is the reason why we really haven't seen a lot of these tokens really to their 2021 lows. I mean, right? So I mean, a lot of them are just so beaten down right now. And the problem is there's a lot more tokens available now than there was in 2021, right? Because of the inflation in a lot of these tokens. You're not seeing like MakerDAO even get to 400 or 500. You're not seeing like Curve really even get close to some of its bear market lows. I mean, they're so beaten down right now, but I think there's a lot of opportunity that's coming for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. All right, jump to the next thing here. So, we got to show some hate, right? So you're getting a normal, right? Yeah, bullish stuff. So, but I do like to show the haters a little bit. So this guy is saying, you brought this to my attention. Could you kind of explain who he is? Because I don't really know his background at all. If you know anything about this guy.
Oh yeah, are you talking about the Ki
Young?
Young? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm about to share the
So,
tweet now.
so he is a data analytics platform owner, I believe. It's called MyQuant, I think.
Okay.
Let me get back to it. But I remember seeing Ki Young Ju basically claim that the cycle was over. You know, he said he admits it right here in a different post. This is 8 hours ago. Leave that one there though. The one I'm talking about says 2 months ago I said the bull cycle was over, but I was wrong. Selling pressure is easing and massive inflows are coming through ETFs. I mean, I just felt like his statement was way premature, especially for what we've seen. But yeah, so he is the founder and CEO of Crypto Quant. And then I think he runs something called InfoCase, which is Intel Market. So you know, he's all about analytics, the on-chain inflow and outflows. But again, you know, he was too prematurely aggressive with his stance, and you know, he said that the Bitcoin cycle was over. I knew for a fact it wasn't. And why would you go against something that had just proven to be a strong indicator or variable in the M2 money supply last Q4, right? So, but I do respect him for admitting that, you know, he was wrong on the analytics. But it also shows that although analytics are very important, and I'm an analytics guy from my digital marketing, you know, background, they're not always right. You know, especially when there's a new system, a new way of doing things, a new cycle, that kind of. And look, I'm almost there to say our cycle has changed. Like the halving will always be 4 years, so I think there would be something special about that. But I don't think it's this 4 years. The previous bag holders are going to dump on the new ones every single. I think that cycle is changed.
Yeah, I actually am 100% with you. I don't think this is going to be a huge dump bear market. I feel like, you know, we're going to be in this kind of a late bull market that kind of maybe leads right into next year's bear market. I think that's going to be I don't think we get a bear market that we expecting Bitcoin to drop 60% again. I don't think we ever get that again. I think Bitcoin is being sought after, and if that doesn't happen, then maybe we do see maybe a 30% drop in Ethereum, which still isn't as bad as the 90% we've seen in the past. So for me, I'm really excited for the next, really, I mean, going in 6 years, right? So maybe we get to 2030 before we see a real dump again.
Aggressive one, yeah, probably. And you know, I think I don't know, there's going to be people that don't like this, but you know, having a stable market is good because it onboards more people and more liquidity and more capital and all these things. And you don't want to have this like 4-year buildup of like the previous cycles, bag holders learn from that, and then the new people they're going to just dump on. That's how it used to work. And I think with institutions coming in and offering products, real world assets and different things, it can be kind of that can be changed, and it's more of a sustainable type of industry. That's what needs to happen, because eventually, like, the new people will, you know, it's like this. Okay. Casinos are legal in the United States of America, in certain states, right? But you know, if you go ask the average everyday middle class person, hey, you want to go casino today? They're going to probably say, what are you talking about? No. You know, you might get someone that is, you know, loves to go to the casino or whatever. Vegas is different. That's the whole experience. But my point that I'm making is majority of people see it as like, okay, I'm going to lose my money when I go there. We got to get out of that, right? Because that's what that 4-year cycle would do, is like, yeah, you can make a ton of money but you know, you're gonna, the new people are most likely going to be the old bag holders that replaces. And what this can do is change the system, make it more stable, make more utility, make research even more interesting too, right? Researching is a fun part of the game.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, right? Like when we get into this meme coin cycle, it sucked because I wasn't able to use the skills that I have, you know, really kind of I feel like I got real strong with. I was looking into stuff like Ordi and Sats with no fundamentals. Like, I guess I'll throw money in these, right? So I can't wait to get into an area where I'm like, wow, like when I'm bullish on something, man, like especially in a DeFi area, I that's when I feel at my best, right? When I'm just like, I know this project
When
more.
stuff makes
more
sense,
hard.
like when it hits
Exactly.
like your synapses in your brain, and you're just kind of like,
Yep.
okay, like this is this, and I think our space will get more and more like that as it gets more substance and more
Yeah.
TradFi comes over, which I know people are like, but it is what it is. It's, you know, we can control how it kind of plays out, but there's needs to be more stability, and I think it's coming.
Yeah, 100%. So another big reason why we ran, especially this morning, was Trump came out and said 80% tariff on China seems right, up to Scott Benson. And, you know, right now, tariffs on China is at 150%. So that is a 50% reduction. It's still up about 50% from the January tariff, but like it's still better than 150. What do you think Trump is doing now? What do you think is going through? I mean, if this China deal gets done, I mean, we saw what a UK deal with 3%. I think China's like what 14% of our trading. That could be absolutely insane.
There, but 80% still unsustainable. Like the business owners over here aren't gonna eat that, right? Like they're paying 80% on top of what the cost is. So, but I think the strategy could be more of, hey, look, like there's countries that do want to do deals, actual deals with the
Yeah.
U.S. They're you know, I think it's more of a, hey, look, we're willing to lower our, you know, our barrier, I guess, a little bit. Maybe you can lower yours a little bit, you know, tit for tat in terms of getting to a place of agreement. You know, I think the ultimate goal that Trump probably wants is for China to open their markets to U.S. products more, which I think is going to be really tough. But at the end of the day, if we continue to close deals with other countries, I think it puts more pressure on the situation. So it's kind of like, okay, they see what we just did with the UK, maybe India's next, which would be, by the way, kind of replacing a lot of what China does,
Yeah.
because they would be, you know, a lot of factories that we get from them would be more of what India would manufacture and take over. But just lowering the barrier is important, in my opinion. I think this is a smart move, and it'll continually get lower and lower. Eventually, they'll come to a deal, I think.
Yeah, 100%. U.S. regulator OCC confirms regulated banks can custody Bitcoin and crypto. So this is kind of what we've been waiting for, a regulation to come into crypto. So now regulated banks can custody Bitcoin, and so they can custody it now. They can do basically anything. Potentially, they can do what Coinbase is doing and let you take loans out on your crypto. This is absolutely huge for a lot of different reasons, but mainly we're finally getting what we've kind of always said. Once we get proper regulation, I mean, we're gonna fly, and we're getting it now.
Yeah, proper regulation is something that we've, you know, needed for a very long time. Unfortunately, that Genius Act didn't get passed through yesterday, which is a stablecoin bill. But you know, it was the first attempt, and so there's a lot of optimism in terms of getting it through, maybe on the second go around. But this was. Did you watch this video? Did you watch?
Oh yeah,
video?
yeah, guy speaking. Yeah, I actually
Dude,
have it. Yeah.
He looked like he had a gun held up to him. Like the way he was talking, he was like nervous. And I was just like, oh my god, is this but this is huge. This is huge for adoption. Huge for adoption. But remember, this is not self-custody, right? You're gonna be getting it through your bank. So there's these, you know, the regular society's normal trust entities are partaking in this. So it's not as bad as like a new company saying, hey, you know, we can get the Bitcoin for you. You don't recognize the brand or anything. These are your banks. So in that sense, it's gonna put the population, the normies at ease if they go through this route. But you know, like people like us will probably just self-custody it, right? But this is a good option for the regular population.
Yeah, imagine being, 57 years old, your retirement, maybe you retire a little early, you're seeing maybe like 600K in your account, right? And then you sit down with your banker and you tell your banker, hey, why don't you take 100 of this K and put this in this Bitcoin thing? But you guys hold it for me. Like I don't want to be, I don't want to leave it on exchange because I hear terrible things about that with FTX, and I don't want to custody it myself. So the intermediate of both those two things is having your bank do it for you, right? Because your bank can actually, if anything does happen, up to 200K, right? I mean, there's that, right? So you're potentially okay as long as we can kind of get some insurance on potentially Bitcoin, and we can potentially get that. We can potentially get FDIC certified on a lot of crypto. That would be amazing.
It would be amazing. They would be very strict with it, probably Bitcoin only
Yeah,
and
just
stuff
big.
like that.
That's the only thing I think banks should be touching right now. I mean, I love Ethereum and stuff like that, but for older people, I don't want them getting effed right before retirement, right? So I think Bitcoin should be the only thing they offer FDIC certification on.
Yeah, we're gonna see some interesting situations because the next 3.5 years, the system's gonna be built out, right? And
Yeah,
so, what does that look like for a big bank to be custodying some, wealth accounts or something like that, their Bitcoin? Also, when is going to be the first time where there's going to be a scare or something like that? Because
yeah,
I feel like there's going to be, because you learn from mistakes, right? You learn from past mistakes, and I don't think it's going to be like a destruction of this new system, but like it's going to be a bump and bruise that we get through. When would that happen? And also, there's going to be protection so that the individual shouldn't be affected by it. I mean, look,
yeah,
even the FTX thing, which a lot of other countries wouldn't have been like, hey, we're gonna pick up the slack and make these guys kind of pay back to their users. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so that's what's happened with FTX. Essentially, some people still lost, but like I'm sure some people never expected to get anything back, and they
yeah.
they did, right? So it'll be even more enforced with the banking system.
Yeah, 100%. But it says right here, like regulated banks, right? So I don't really see the bumps and bruises happening. And if they do happen, I feel like, they can come underneath and fix it, right? You can
Yeah.
have so I just don't think, I think this is probably the safest way for somebody who's about to enter retirement who maybe doesn't want to self custody. So.
Yep.
All right, moving along here. So the last shoe I feel like has dropped from the last cycle. Celsius founder Alex Mashinsky has been sentenced to 12 years in prison. This is somebody who basically was using your profits to give you yield, right? So, or using your coins to give you yield back. Never really having the coins that he said he had. Got screwed. So Terra Luna really messed up Alex Mashinsky because he was taking your assets, selling them, and then getting UST, which was the Terra Luna dollar, and getting 20% yield. When you wanted your Ethereum or something back, he would sell down the UST and give you it back. So he was making 20% on cash, and then that's how he was giving yield for a lot of people that were keeping their coins on Celsius. But now that is done. And I feel like, with everyone who made a lot of mistakes last cycle, I feel like they're all kind of dealing with that now, meaning, SBF, Mashinsky.
Yeah, 12 years, man. Wow. I know there was a lot that was lost through it. So, but still, 12 years just sounds like a lot. And he's not young,
Yeah.
right? So he'll probably be getting out close to 60 well, I don't know how
Well,
old he is exactly, but
he can get parole in 6 years. So
okay.
in 6 years, he's eligible for parole. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm sure he's going to be hurting. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So,
All right. So, real quick, Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovsky says the company will launch its Bitcoin and stablecoin wallet in Q3. This is a big deal, guys. If you don't have a Rumble account, go open a Rumble account because just in case, it's just like opening a YouTube account. Hop over there, start an account there, and potentially there might be a Rumble token, and it might get dropped to people who have wallets on the site. And we're thinking that every account on Rumble will have its own wallet. So you definitely want to do that if you have the time. I mean, there's no reason not to. And then maybe go follow us on Rumble too. That. But honestly, though, just messing around. But you should really think about opening a Rumble account. It's basically another YouTube.
yeah, this is exciting too. This is another example of adoption in these big companies, and we knew Rumble was kind of going all in terms of category wise with gaming and crypto. So this makes sense, right? And they're able to, um, kind of get their accounts kind of like how abstract is, where maybe one will be just you can have the native one assigned to your account, and we're gonna see more and more of this. X has plans of
Yeah.
payment system as well in the future, so this is just that next move. There's a lot of these news headlines for this cycle, which is showing a lot of people are feeling confidence in
Yeah.
regulation coming, and this is the new norm. This is how the financial system is going to work. So I think the way we do things 12 months from now in 2026 in the summer is going to look very different than the way we do things even right now.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's going to be absolutely insane. Look, I mean, dude, the future is on chain, bro. I mean, we've been saying this for a long time, but the future is on chain, and I think we're about to enter. We're about to enter our like 2022 moment that stocks went through, right? Where everything was just like beaten down, and then it was time to rise. You're going to see your Coinbase is really take that Google type of mind share from a lot of people, and what that's going to do, there's a lot of coins listed on Coinbase that are going to feel success because of that moment.
Yep. We got a super chat here from
Ooh.
Cryptolution here. Vincent, huge dog advocate here, says GM Shizzy and Yagobi, dog to the moon. Appreciate that super chat, Vincent. And yes, dog is going to the moon. It hit $340 million market cap, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But exciting times for dog and hopefully the rest of Runes.
Yeah, man. I do want to show the Colin Talks Crypto chart real quick, since we are following that pretty closely, but it's just not seeing it right now. Hold on. So guys, if you're not following Colin T Crypto on Twitter, I highly recommend you do that. His chart is absolutely phenomenal. We've been showing it daily, so definitely let's jump into that. So he says the next couple months are going to be wild for stocks and Bitcoin, in my opinion. New all-time highs coming. And he put out a video. He has a new video up. But let's take a look at how right and accurate he's kind of been here. So this is his chart here. So yeah, so we're following here, and we're just having our explosive moment now. So we're actually up here now. Bitcoin this is an older chart, so Bitcoin is now between 199, just like this has been saying. So we are about right here. So whether we take this dip down or just continue the momentum up to 105, but he's predicting this chart is predicting that we just don't go to the all-time high and go back down. We destroy the all-time high and go right to 120. Do you think something like that is about to happen for Bitcoin?
What is that date? Is that early June or middle of June? Whenever that expectation is for the M2 supply.
Yeah,
there
so
it is.
That's looking. This line right here is June.
Okay,
so right here is June.
So maybe late May almost,
dude. Like the next 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah. It doesn't follow necessarily exactly, but typically, it will get there. I just don't know if there's going to be like a dip before, because as you can see, it's not like, step by step. I know it has been. It has been down a little bit. It has been pretty much for this one, but as you can see before that, like you can see in maybe March or April, there was a little bit higher M2 on that graph than Bitcoin. It was a little bit lower, and then it jumped up. But that's what I'm saying. Regardless, we know that it's going to end there though, and I would say within like probably a week or a week and a half range of maybe a couple days of a difference. But yeah, so I do expect an aggressive pull up, because we see it there.
Yeah, man. So and he's saying he has his own chart. It's called the CBBI, and he's saying the CBBI is at 74, and he's thinking the CBBI. So CBBI is a bunch of indicators that he puts together and creates a number. He does it automatic. So if you go to CBBI.info, and this is something potentially you want to start digging into daily as well. CBBI info is actually really awesome. I'm gonna get label the indicators and really see what exactly. But when this hits 100, it usually means top. So we still have ways to go, but I don't know if this is going to be dead on. So if you guys are interested, see colintalkscrypto.com, and you guys can really kind of see what indicators and stuff are in there. But everything's looking really, really good. These are all the indicators.
Yeah, and a lot of these M2 graphs and stuff, they're similar. They just might be off by like 5, 10 days, 15 days from each other, but they're all on the same page right now, it seems like.
100%. All right, let's kind of get into the crypto fear and greed here. So we're greedy, but last week we were 67, yesterday we're 65. We're in the low 70s is my hint.
72
right there, man. 73. Was kind of hanging out here. What are you thinking? You think we continue to stay in greed? Do you think we hit the 80s, maybe 90s next week?
Next week, I don't know, man. I have this a little bit of the PTSD still, to where if we go up aggressively, that there's going to be some pullback, right? I don't think we go back under 100K. But I think we kind of just chop back and forth here, maybe. But
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, like I was kind of wrong this week, saying I didn't expect it to cross over 100K till Sunday, then if it does continue this up 105 to 108 by Monday, then we could see this even higher. But like you mentioned before pre-show, there's options expiring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Always has there's different things that's constantly going on that can have an effect. And so I would say, if I just had to blindly call, I would say we're around the same place of next week.
Yeah. I have a weird feeling though that so Saturday morning around 10 a.m. we're gonna get a tweet from Trump saying we have a deal with India, we have a deal with Brazil, we have a deal with Venezuela, we have a deal.
And we
with
had 100.
And then boom, and then we could be at like 150, like potentially next week. I mean, I could really see. Imagine next week we get a deal on Saturday, a deal on Monday, a deal on Thursday. Like, what could that do? I mean, we saw what a UK deal, 3%, like of our trading power, right? I mean, that's it. And now we're potentially seeing China, India, Brazil potentially coming next. Maybe not Russia, but Brazil, Venezuela coming next.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that Brazil's like trying to get in line so quick. But yeah, we need more of those. Yes, and I think it will be like a hyper at that point. Like that's my dream. My short-term dream. My short-term dream is for these trade deals one by one to keep closing, and the entire financial markets will get happy. Is that a good thing? How aggressive it was? Yes, for us. But another super chat shout out to MoChain. We got €12. Appreciate you. Says supporting the movement. On-chain gang.
Ganja?
Ganga. And hashtag ICP. Yeah, ICP is there's a lot of projects that are in this ICP Bitcoin kind of ecosystem that's in the a part of the broader Bitcoin ecosystem. So excited with a lot of these projects utilizing that tech stack to scale these Bitcoin layer 1 assets. So shout out to you, MoChain. Appreciate the super chat there.
Yeah, 100%, man. But let's get into the Bitcoin price action and crypto bubbles brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, they're doing big things, guys. They're about to go on mainnet. They're going to be on mainnet on Hemi. Hemi is backed by Binance. This is a big deal for a lot of reasons because Hemi doesn't have a token. And by using Artura, you could potentially get that airdrop. But not only will they be dropping on Hemi, they're also going to be on Botonix. Botonix is the spider chain. It's one of the biggest L2s that is coming right now. We're very, very, very bullish on really the L2s in general, right? Especially with Hemi, especially with Merlin chain, especially with Botonix. We feel like a lot of these could really do well, but doing potentially using leverage on Artura, playing the game, or really maybe you skip the leverage and you just add liquidity to some of these pools, you could really make out really well, not just by APY, but an airdrop area as well. So we're thinking Botonix is going to do some reward program. We're not really sure what they're going to offer, but we know that Hemi's potentially going to offer something really well. So guys, we want you to gauge these projects and be a part of these airdrops if they come. Obviously, there's a little bit of risk involved with the airdrops. They just might not come. But if they do come, you're going to be very, very happy that you listen to us. A lot of our partners here, guys, they are offering potential big rewards for just using the product. That is kind of why we partner with a lot of these teams that are pre-TGE, because our community can really benefit from using these products.
Yeah, and it's so early in the Bitcoin ecosystem, so you got to remember that too. So there's a lot of belief in the future of the Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. We're excited about that. But let's get into some Bitcoin price action here, guys. Before we do that, help us out as you always do, and we're grateful for that. On the YouTube side, smash that like every morning. First thing you do, smash the like of the live stream, and then if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. And then on the X side, guys, share the space for us. We love your support, and you guys always do it. Just got to remind you. And then also on the Abstract side, go follow. Make sure you follow us on Abstract. If you're an Abstract audience, or you just happen to catch us on a live stream, follow us and also share the link there. Thank you guys so much. Let's jump into some Bitcoin price action here. Cheer. Starting with the hour chart here. Yeah. So we are seeing some pullback here. But one thing I will point out is that you can see the Bollinger Band starting to tighten up here, right? You see that. This is the hour chart. Every time it tightens up, there's a big move, right? So we saw this tighten up here, move to the upside. right? It's tightening up here. Does that mean that we move to the downside? I'm not sure, but we are seeing consecutive back-to-back hour candles here. There are options closing today, but is that going to be for the downside or upside that they're going to try to push for? We're going to find out very soon. But yeah, so this could go sideways, consolidate for a little bit, but eventually, what this tightening is telling us is that the volatility is getting to a point to where it's going to make a move, whether that's up or down. It might take the second half of today, but it's entered that tightening area for the Bollinger Bands. And then you can see here on the stochastics, we're actually in a good setup in terms of being oversold with not much of a pullback from like being down here for that long. Honestly, we topped out at like this 104 area, so we're down, but we're not like down tremendously for how long we've been in the oversold area. And then you can see that the MACD is still kind of showing some strength for the sell pressure. So I'd probably wait here a couple, 4 hours, see what's the next move here. Is this tightening because it wants to go down further? There's some, price points that some of these big entities want to hit to liquidate some of these options. We don't know, but it is, to me, telling me that there is a move coming, and this makes me nervous that we might head down further. So I'm just going to chill out, watch from the sidelines today, see where it wants to take us heading into the weekend here. And then the 4 hour chart is still in this buy pressure for Bitcoin. This is a bigger time frame, so this gives you more of a 2 to 3 day forecast. So that 1 hour chart is going to kind of determine what the next move here is on the 4 hour chart. But it looks like the buy pressure is starting to weaken. We've been in overbought for a good minute. The Bollinger Bands are pretty wide. When it's wide, it's kind of could just kind of float around. It could tighten up pretty quick though if there's a big move here. But I expect that 1 hour time frame to give us more information second half of today, and then we'll see what happens over the weekend. I don't expect any, even if it does sell down, maybe like 101.5 or something like that, going back and forth, nothing crazy. Again, I said I wanted a cushion above 100K. We got to 104. I felt like that's a strong enough cushion. I don't expect us to get below 100K for maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say ever, but if we follow that M2 money supply, then maybe ever, right? So that's what I'm seeing heading into the weekend. The weekly chart looks great. That setup is looking even better every day by day. You can see these lines are crossing as well. This is the blue and orange lines here on the MACD. We are closing up the sell pressure. We are heading into overbought territory. So strong green candles are expected on the weekly chart for me. Getting to like 109, 110, that would set that new all-time high, but probably shooting for higher than that is what I would imagine. But we just look really good, and you can see even here the Bollinger Bands are starting to tighten as well. So that could say, hey, further up aggressively, and you can see that's kind of what the pattern's been. Once we do have like that second strong green candle on the weekly chart, it's followed up by multiple, and then it finds that consolidation with a pullback here. So exciting times ahead for Bitcoin, that is for sure. At least for the next month and a half, 2 months. And the others chart, I love what's happening here, getting a little hyper aggressive earlier than expected. So this is everything outside of Bitcoin and the top 10 of the majors in the the alt market, right? So everything 11 and above is actually rocking and rolling here. We tested the top part of the 50-day EMA channel right here. It did get rejected. That wick got rejected here, but the way alts have been moving, man, this feels different. And I hate to say that because I'm the one that's saying, we got to get into this risk on environment. Maybe they're pushing us in it, right? And so you can see it's getting pretty good here. I'll feel better once we come above this 50-day EMA channel, which I expect it to happen, unless Bitcoin pulls back aggressively. We do go below the 100K, and it's like a little bit of doom and gloom. I don't expect that though. So I actually expect Bitcoin to continually truck on through the weekend. Start with next Monday having a good price, and then this will follow suit. So I like where we are everywhere. I know that sounds like I'm just bullish, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion. You can see here as well the daily crypto bubbles for the alts, which is ranked 1 through 100, obviously with Bitcoin being number 1. You can see we're at like a 95% 96, 97% green. We got some big players here. Hyperliquid up 12.6%. Trump up 12.5%. Ethereum, love to see Ethereum up here, 11.1%. Finally above 10% gain here. Just everything looks really good. Some of the memes to point out: Pepe up 24.5%. Dog with hat. We haven't talked about this one. It's about to hit that 10% gain there. Doge up 6%. Let's see if we can see where Dog is. Dog had a pretty decent move. I think Dog's in the top.
Wow, Peanut 73%.
Wow,
crazy.
Yeah, Peanut definitely up there. You see the ape coin.
Yeah.
I hate that this coin is even talked about, but
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
$200, bro. It's going.
Yeah,
It's going.
and then Dog go to the moon, up 10.3%. Would love to see this continually move up, but it is officially the largest market cap for Bitcoin fungible as we speak right now. So exciting times, guys. But that is what we're looking at, right? But don't get blinded by that. Continually, be diligent and continually learn every day. And that doesn't mean up only forever from here, but from where we are right now, I think we can all take this in and take a deep breath and say, hey, it's we're gonna be in some better times here in the near future.
100%. I mean, it just looks absolutely beautiful today. Continuation. Like I said, we get some news today, we get some news tomorrow. I mean, we could see numbers that we haven't seen since 2021. I'm excited for it. So let's jump into the roll call here on this channel. First is first. And if you don't know what we do with the first is every single day we take the first comment of the day and actually log it into a chart. And we have this chart right here. I'm just taking the day, and then whoever first. Congratulations, ASAP Benji. You, my friend, are number one again, 2 days in a row. Congratulations to you, man. Really appreciate you always being here and being a part of our community. Absolutely amazing. Number 10 on the year. Looking forward to this competition getting tighter here. Danny Boy with 21, and then you have Webdro with 18, ASAP Benji with 10, and Lackey Lukey with 12. And this is anyone's game, guys. All you got to do is be on this list. I think it'll be be first, but be first one day, and I think that'll be absolutely amazing. So definitely let's get the competition going. But you can't deny the league leaders right now. You guys are actually killing it.
Yeah, it's exciting, and love to see the ASAP Benji getting that win. For a while it was just Webjo and Danny, so now it's mixing it back up.
100%. ASAP Benji again, Lackey Lukey again. Shout out to Lackey Lukey, another Billy Cat. A lot of these guys are getting me bullish on these Billy Cats. There's a lot of them in our chat, man. Mr. Hanky, another Billy Cat. I mean, come on, you guys I'm gonna have to go buy some more of these things. Danny Boy is here. Shout out to Danny Boy. Mats is here. PJNZ is here. Shout out to PJNZ. Peanut Butter Jelly Time, my guy. And then we have let's see, ASAP Benji says, cheers, Webdro. Shizzy was right. He predicted that we hit 102K today and 100K and higher. Guys, we got someone paying attention. No, I'm just kidding. First time ever Shizzy was right on this channel. No, just kidding. And ETH is pumping like a meme coin. It really is. Benji wants it, and he's getting it. Congrats. Webdro, shout out to Webdro is here. Beck Road is here. Shout out to Beck Road. It says runes with 2 crying emojis. All right. Goose Honk is here. Shout out to Goose Honk. OnChain Revolution podcast is here. Shout out to you guys. I'm just kidding. Mempo Punk is here. Nabob is here. Abstract says 104. Can we get to 104 today?
I'm not gonna say no anymore. Yes, we can, guys. We hit 104 yesterday, but can we hit it again? Yeah. I think so.
All right. Chips and Dip is here. K99. Satoshi Nakamoto is here. Shout out to Satoshi. He's always watching our show. Bitcoin is Truth is here. Vader Time is here. Nighthawk UXL says GM. Looks like Lambo will be on Tuesday after all. What color, Mr. Yagobi, is picking for his Lambo? What color? Because you're very colorful. Everyone kind of knows what color I would pick for my Lambo, right? What color would you pick for your Lambo?
Oh man, I'd like that electric blue, man. I like that. I like the background of Nighthawk's PFP there. That I used to have a Lexus IS 300, the old school ones in the early 2000s, and I always wanted the electric blue. Can't remember if I saw that in like Fast and Furious or something, but I love that color.
Hell yeah. Super fan is here. Shout out to Super every single day. All right. And then we got Ivy Whittaker, one of our few Twitch viewers. Shout out to you. She said, hi, OnChain Revolution. I hope your channel grow fast. You should stream consistently because you're doing great. Yeah, I mean, we go live
We
every
do.
day.
We do.
Upgrade your Twitch profile a little bit as well. What does she mean by that?
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we add some more I don't know, bells and whistles in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I need. Well, I would look at that over the weekend because I want to see what she's talking about.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, Ivy, if there's any suggestions, please let us know. Kenta says Cypher Genesis comeback. Ooh, that is one to get into. Let's look at that price in a minute.
Yeah.
Chief Axel is here. Patty Poo is here. Shout out to Patty Poo, the Bitcoin machine himself, my guy. He says 25x on whim this morning on virtuals. Congratulations to you, man.
Yes,
Absolutely
sir.
awesome. Patty Poo says feels good too. Mo Chain says, let's be honest, competing with ETH will be even harder in the future. I hold 0 ETH. All right. He said 72 companies are buying Bitcoin, not to mention a country accumulates sats, BTC. He's talking about the BRC20?
No, he says 72 companies are buying Bitcoin, and not to mention countries that, like the nation states that are buying Bitcoin as well. He's basically, the demand is going up institutionally.
100%. Yeah, man. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. We already got the super chat, but shout out to Cryptolution, our guy. And then, ASAP Benjamin says in Benjamin Cohen's last video, he suggested Bitcoin is leading global M2 by 145.
Wow.
Just to also keep that in mind. So Benjamin Cohen's not very big on that chart. From what I was watching him, I think I might have watched the same video you did, and he's basically saying that like he actually put the charts like neck to neck together and was saying that like this isn't something that he uses for his data, and which is really weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure he has to comment on it if it keeps hitting as accurate as it has been.
Yeah, 100%. Except Ben says a hugely contracted Colin Talks Crypto
contradict.
Yep,
contradicts Colin, which it does.
Yeah. Mo Chain says, when will we get your website on ICP? Imagine OnChain Revolution website actually on a blockchain.
OnChain Revolution. Yeah. Hey, we'll if someone wants to walk us through that would be cool. We can do that.
Yep. Peace Chance says Zbeck coin potential is enormous. Okay. That's a shill. I never heard of Zbeck, but Zapresky is here. He said, hi, y'all. Kevin Williams every single day from the dog community. Shout out to you, my friend. He said, Mo Chain on the first list soon. The optimization is needed for time to time. Right on social media channels. Sorry for my rectangle. You think your English is perfect, buddy? No worries. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, every single one of you guys who makes roll call each and every day. It is much appreciated. Man, a lot of people in here today. I love Bitcoin Bullish because I feel like we've got our team back. We do have a couple comments on X. Rita says, TV says, my frog has a Bitcoin B on the hoodie.
Let's go.
Awesome. He said, I would like to buy some blue chips here. I bought a frog and trying to decide between a punk and a nat cat. So what are you, Yagobi? Are you choosing a punk or a nat cat?
Bitcoin punk or a nat cat? I would probably go nat cat because I feel like it's like the niche of a nat cat is what makes it thrive, and it's the best of that category. Yeah, like the DMT.
Depends on tap though.
I don't. I feel like it's actually a part of like the ordinal culture because you see people like Butoshi posting about it, but Butoshi doesn't really care about DMT. He's just more like the culture behind the Nat Cat and it being unique and stuff like that. So that's why I would personally pick Nat Cat.
Gotcha.
Bitcoin punks just have that derivative issue because they're early inscription. I think they're like I want to say like 500K or 300 to 500K, maybe even earlier actually. But they just don't get the love like some of the other ones.
Yeah, well, it's because they're a derivative, right? Of the OG. So, Gabriel Jason is here. Shout out to Gabriel Jason, man. Shout out to all you guys, man, who make roll call. We do have a couple more just coming in right now. Did Fractal on runes? Did you know anything on Fractal? Yeah, don't do Fractal on runes. Don't do runes Fractal. So just don't do it. I don't know what this means. Do you know anything about fractals on runes? What? No, so it's not Fractal.
I think I'm gonna have to look that up. Fractals on runes. Yeah, I think you were thinking he was talking about runes standard on fractal chain. Yeah, I'm not sure because I think there's a collection or something called fractals. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that in. Maybe if you could clarify that, Badger, if you're talking about an actual collection called fractals or rune standard on fractal chain, that would help.
Yeah, man. All right, let's take a quick look at some runes while we wait for Fluid Friday to begin. We are lucky enough, guys, to have Raul joining us today. So he should be joining us in a couple minutes. I'm really looking forward to that. But let's take. I did want to jump in because I think this is one of the bigger opportunities in the ecosystem right now, and that is the runes. A lot of people would say maybe it's Altcoins, maybe it's something else, but I don't know. How do you feeling about this price action we're kind of seeing? I mean, last day we're seeing some huge jump ups from a lot of these tokens here.
Well, I'm glad to see Dog getting aggressive here. I do think that Dog is going to be leading the way for this, right? There's some pretty big milestones that has to hit. I don't think people are going to really, celebrate Dog's market cap like milestones until it gets to 500 million next, and then a billion. Once it hits those two big milestones, I think we're back in the game of where we were before everything crashed, right? And then I think the other kind of branded runes in terms of the meme coins will benefit from that. Whichever one takes off next, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's going to go one by one, kind of like how it always has been. But we're talking about the magic internet monies, the pups, the $1 billion cats, the gizmos, bro bears. So some of these are lower hanging fruit, but like example, bro bears at 1.5 million. We know there's a certain people that are try to push that when things are good. So that's something that could go to 10 million or higher. And so those, and then someone brought up Cypher Genesis in the chat. It's at 1.5 million. So it has started to come back, but this thing was at 30 million before, remember? Yeah, so this is Butoshi's kind of rune that's behind the Satoshi Genesis AI whole like energy that was behind that, right? And so we're gonna see if some of these runes have the ability to bounce back to where they were. This can be an interesting case study because there's momentum behind some of these other ones like Pups and Billy, right? And Gizmo even has some, and so I think they have a good shot to get close to where their all-time high was or even higher. But some of the other ones that didn't have that like huge thrust up, like getting back to the millions, a pretty big deal here at 1.5. That's what, 15x around there.
Yeah.
Or more than 15x, probably like 20 something. So, and then but can it happen? Absolutely, it can. If the entire runes ecosystem thrives and these other ones that hit some of these big, like you're talking about Pups at like I think 200 million, $1 billion cat at 155 million. Magic internet money. If you think about Wizard was really high at one point, right? So we need to see them kind of get to where they were first.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we'll see if this can get to 100 million, which is I think definitely possible. Billy was at 100. You said 150 million, right? That was
155. Yeah,
that one 155. Yeah, I mean, absolutely insane. I mean, we'll see some of these, but do you think any of these really low cap ones? Is there any opportunity here that you potentially see? I'm looking for my guy, Mr. Yen. He's down here. He hasn't really moved at all. Zero. No one is buying Mr. Yen right now. But do you see any opportunities with something like Puka or Coda or maybe even Feihu?
I hope Feihu. I still have some from that original Runes launch, but look, you see like stuff like Pepe, Bitcoin Pepe metrics. Mr. Yen was a OG one. Well, you see a lot of these with the pink check marks, right? I don't think that all these are gonna just like crush it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I think some people are probably wondering, like, when is this slingshot situation going to happen to where people can, purchase these runes with USDC and other assets? Because you made a good point. A lot of people probably don't want to give up their Bitcoin right now, right? So, we're still waiting for Magic Eden and Slingshot to kind of have that. How long it takes, I hope that they're really close to having that available, because you want to get that available when momentum's starting.
100%. And people people do not want to give up their Bitcoin. So having these priced in USDC, for instance, could be a huge big deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sell my Bitcoin, but if I have some USDC on the sideline or whatever, I would definitely, potentially start looking at runes with that. But yeah, man. All right, guys. It is officially Friday, and every Friday we like to hit on one of our partners. Our partner is Fluid for Fluid Friday. Fluid is doing some really amazing things, guys. These guys are building staking on Bitcoin, right? I mean, they're building. They are a builder from Cardano, who is a UTXO builder, right? And they've come to Bitcoin as well. They've been here for over a year now, and they've been building. They build swaps, they build blending, and their biggest thing is their staking. But that's not the only tool that they're bringing to the table. They're actually bringing two new tools coming very soon, and we'll let Raul kind of break that down for you guys.
Yep, excited. Yeah, let's get them up.
Let's bring them up. Raul, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here, sir.
Oh, I think you might be on mute or your speakers. There you go.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well.
Man.
How are you doing?
It's been a while, man. We missed you, bro. We missed you. It's great to have you.
Yes.
It's great. I know you were a world traveler these days. So would you mind kind of getting into that a little bit before we kind of get into Fluid?
Yes, absolutely. No, right now, as Fluid, we are in Draper University for an acceleration program. So basically, Fluid Tokens is learning how to bootstrap and leverage the VC network around. And it's very interesting because, the Bitcoin Fi and the UTXO architecture is really a narrative that is taking a lot of space in the angels and VC network. Why? Because people say, okay, wait, if Vitalik is kind of saying that he's rethinking about how EVM should work, maybe we should check how other architectures are working. And UTXO, the simplest one, the mother of the architecture, who are the chains building on top of that? And that's, well, Bitcoin, Cardano, but even Doge and Litecoin. So, and I think it's a very good position right now for any builder making products on top of Bitcoin, Cardano, or UTXO chains, because they have the advantage of being already building on top of these architectures.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you guys being at like this event or this kind of like learning opportunity at Draper University, does that open your eyes a little bit to see like how much interest there is in building into this kind of new UTXO renaissance of ecosystem? Are you seeing a lot of interest building on Bitcoin, building with Bitcoin, around Bitcoin? Can you kind of explain that to the audience, what you're seeing personally?
Yes, so the cool thing that I'm seeing right now is that projects building on Cardano, for instance, they are leveraging their experience. And so probably in the next weeks or even days, you will see a lot of announcements of new projects coming to Bitcoin. And they will be able to deliver and build cool products because they are using the experience on Cardano, so UTXO chain. But not just Cardano. I think that in the next month, there will be another program in Draper University that will be for Bitcoin builders. So let's say that every month there are new builders coming to the space, and this should be something positive because new builders mean that we will have new tools, new paradigms, and most important, new dApps for the ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys are constantly building, like, to try to make the experience for someone in the Bitcoin ecosystem better. With the current limitations of Bitcoin, you're not waiting for OpCat or anything like that. You're bringing your experience building on UTXO chains to make this happen now. But there was some debate and a little controversy recently of Bitcoin Core saying they're going to remove the op return data limits in the next update. Does that benefit what Fluid is building? And if so, could you explain?
So yes, so it's interesting because I saw a tweet from Robin Linus, and I kind of agree with him. Like, there has been a lot of debate on this upgrade, even though this upgrade has the less impact on whatever has been already. Like, Taproot, for instance, had a huge impact on the ordinal ecosystem, as we know. It allowed us to inscribe and so on. So increasing the OP return limit right now, it doesn't affect that much in the terms that, yes, you can actually have now inscriptions for half the cost, because if you remember, when you inscribe something, you do the commit transaction and then you reveal. So it's two transactions.
Hmm.
Now with the OP return that hasn't a limit, you can do just one transaction and inscribe everything.
Oh wow.
So that
But
makes
but
half the fees.
yeah, but the inscription in the ordinal is going to live in a different area now, no longer the witness data. So now will live in the op return data storage. Does that? I mean, is ordinals like would it be considered an ordinal because the indexer doesn't point to op return, does it?
Exactly. Very, very good point. I think that either we upgrade how the indexer works, because at the end of the day, it's still on the Bitcoin blockchain. The only thing that is different is not stored anymore in one folder, it's stored in another folder, but everything is in the same computer, let's say.
Interesting. That's interesting. And so you guys have been working on a tool that's really awesome that will make founders' lives better, easier because
Yeah.
now they can kind of airdrop, and it's not going to cost them an arm or a leg. Could you kind of explain what you've been working on with that, and maybe we can do like a live demo or kind of talk about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, first of all, as you know, we have a staking platform. And in order to reward the user when the staking period is coming to the end, what we do is we do a single transaction that airdrops the rewards to every staker. So this is the thing. However, every time is kind of a struggle because you have to build. There is no tool available. Like I think that there was a tool that allowed you to make airdrop for 10 user, but we don't need 10 user. We need way more. So and that was a nightmare for us until we said, okay, wait, we are doing this script basically every time we are releasing new rewards. Why don't we just build a tool that is good for us, but probably we are not the only ones struggling. This is even for, when you are doing something easy like giveaways. When you do giveaways and I have to reward 5 users, right now the experience was, okay, send the first reward, wait 10 minutes, send the second reward. So in total, I'm losing 1 hour for rewarding just 5 users. Now I can finally do it in one click, reward 5 of them, and then forget about it. They will receive each of them, and yeah, it's a cool tool. We have released it right now. It has even zero fees of commission, so you pay just the network fees of Bitcoin, and yeah, it's free to use. You can easily import any rune that is listed, and if it's not listed there, you can even manually import your rune that you just created, and it will work.
Yeah, that's all. That's awesome. I mean, it's really cool that you guys, you needed something, so you built it, and now you guys are actually being open and saying, "Hey, anyone can use this," because we do see the problem. I love that. I love it, and I can't wait to kind of showcase it to the world because it just really went live today, right?
Yeah, exactly. We just announced it today. Feel free to interact and comment in uh in the link in the tweet that we did. And yeah, if you go to our website, you will see the airdrop link,
All
and
right.
from there you can see it. We are probably going to add new meta protocols since they are kind of popping up new ones around. As you see, there will be even the possibility to have BRC20 for the vintage guys in the room, and yeah, basically right now you select the rune. You can even upload the distribution of the airdrop you want to do and add manually. So you can have the address and how much it is, and keep adding new addresses. The
Oh, wow.
important detail here is one, this tool works better if the amounts are a multiple of each other, meaning that I can airdrop to a user 10, another 20,
Oh,
another
wow.
50, and it works great. If we are using not multiples, it still works, but the transaction will be bigger. And this is due to runes protocol limitation. It's not the tool itself.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So I guess do you want to do this airdrop live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's try.
Yeah, let me try to set this up though, because I want to make sure I got everything here.
Should we get some addresses from the chat here, or how do you want to do it?
We can do an address from the chat, or we can do.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I got enough Bitcoin in this one. That's the problem. Let me check here. Give me 1 second. So, or you can just shoot me an address, so we can just do it for
The tutorial.
Yeah, exactly. I apologize. I was waiting for it to come through, and realized that I need a little bit more Bitcoin. Yes, yeah. And that's the thing about Bitcoin is these 10-minute blocks and all that stuff.
We're getting some addresses come in if you want to
who is
grab that one. Is that Pressy? So
yeah, but it's gonna have to be your Taproot address.
Yeah, guys, please drop the address and let's see.
Yeah,
that is Taproot, no?
It might be. Let me see.
Yeah, that's Taproot.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that they did have that. So give me a second. Let me get this ready. But I did do this, and I did it with a manual address before, and it worked really smooth. Because we've been testing this out. We let you guys know that that's actually, kind of what we've been doing with you guys. But could you talk a little bit about, what fungible tokens that you guys are looking to add as well to this?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So first of all, as we saw, the BRC20 protocol is compatible with this. You just need to do a different kind of inscription way. And we have seen different meta protocols coming out. First of all, using and leveraging the new limit removed from the OP return. What was the name? I think OP20, something like that. I don't know.
The latest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And then also altcoins, I think. So there are new meta protocols, and that's cool. I also think that there is a new one coming up from Bitcoin OS guys. So in my opinion, it's very interesting to be able and to be compatible with them, because in this way you are not limiting your application to only certain users, and you are even able to understand which one is the one that is driving more community.
So like with what you've seen in the infrastructure, do you think Runes is gonna be the leader? Because there's so many people building for Runes, though.
Yeah, Runes, I think that right now is the main meta protocol. However, in my opinion, there are still some optimizations that could be either done by Runes itself or by a new meta protocol that maybe is coming. I would recommend to change the 77 to, I don't know, 25, something like
25.
that.
Okay. Like an even number.
To be multiples, to be all multiples of 20, 25.
Okay, so 25, 50, we'll go 100 here, and we'll go 100 here. All right, and then select the airdrop asset. So then I can just put in up here, select from here, right?
Yes.
And then I can just go down and kind of see what you guys have here. But if it's something you guys don't have here, right, I can still send it.
Yes, because if you close the selector, you can see that you have the rune ID and the rune decimals, and all this information are something that you usually find in the rune details page. So easy to retrieve.
So let's just say I want to send. Let's just say I got all this beer coin runes, right? So I want to send this beer coin runes. I just basically take the name of it, which is beer coin runes, and I come up here, I put that in here, and then custom decimal. So then I go to something like Luminex, for instance, right?
Exactly.
And then I type in beer coin runes. It comes up, and I'm looking for the decimals. For this one, it's 5. So I just put 5.
Okay. For the custom ID, however, it's not the name, it's the ID. If you check on Luminex, you will see rune ID.
Okay. So then I just copy it from Luminex and I just paste it in that.
That's the one.
And then 5 decimals and I hit continue. And then I can start.
Oh, which wallet are you connected with?
Xverse. Maybe it's not even up. Let me see.
Okay, that's the reason. Okay.
That's step number 1 there.
Okay, you want to make sure your wallet's connected and then start. And then it's going to come up here.
Oh, you can see.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. It's 25, 25, 25.
Because
25.
this is how Room Protocol works. Room's protocol is able to create multiple little bundles. So when you are sending 100 to someone, you're actually sending them 4 bundles of 25. And in this way, the overall result is sending different amounts to different users. And you are actually doing everything in one click. And if you go on the end, let's see. Okay.
Airdrop initiated. Boom. Yeah. It's airdropped. That's phenomenal, Raul. I love that. That's so cool.
It's very fast. Hey guys, drop 2 more Taproot addresses, separate ones, because we're gonna give away dog from Fluid tokens. We're gonna airdrop them to you guys. I'm just waiting on this block to go through. So we got Zaprasecki. So 2 more Taproot addresses. Drop them in the chat, and then that will round it up. I'm gonna drop 10,000 dog to each of those addresses. That's cool, right? Okay, cool.
All right. Yeah, I just told people, guys, put your addresses in here. Let's go. We getting beer? No, you're getting some dog. I just did the beer because that's all I had in this test wallet that I have here. But absolutely awesome that worked, man. Phenomenal, phenomenal for sure.
How can I copy that address? Do you know from just the banner? The banner.
You can do it through YouTube. I can get it for you.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh, and so if you go to YouTube in the comments, you can copy it right from there. That's kind of what I do. Mattyverse actually told me that. Surprisingly.
Okay, so so we need 2 more addresses. Just drop those in the chat. But let's go on to the if you guys don't mind. Did you have something else on the airdrop, or I wanted to talk a little bit about Aquarium?
Yeah, maybe we can speak about Aquarium. Meanwhile, the others come.
Yep. So go ahead.
Finally, it's been a lot of work, and the audit is finished, and we are planning for next week to release Aquarium protocol. It's going to be released on Cardano on Wednesday. That's the target date.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's very close. And we are. What is Aquarium? First of all, Aquarium is a protocol that was completely missing on Cardano, and allows to pay users for using other tokens except ADA for transaction, besides ADA. So why is this important, and why we have been building this? Because as you know, we are trying to connect our 2 communities. So users on Bitcoin will be able to use and experiment with dApps on Cardano. However, how can they experiment if they don't have any ADA? So the solution is let them pay in Bitcoin. They will be able to pay Cardano transactions using Bitcoin. And this is the innovation and the cool part, in my opinion. And the second part is that you are able to schedule transactions. So if you would like to say, okay, I want to send to Yagobi every week 100 stable coins, okay? And right now you couldn't do it because compared to account model, UTXO has no programmability of scheduling or this kind of thing. However, with Aquarium, we unlock that. So you are able to finally schedule transactions to users selecting stablecoin, selecting the custom token that you would like. And as soon as we bridge the Bitcoin, you are actually having a scheduled transaction with Bitcoin. So sending recurrent payments, subscription model with Bitcoin easily. So this is kind of the innovation that we want to bring to the table. And the cool thing is that if you have our token and you would like to get some rewards, you can become an Aquarium validator. And by this, you are actually helping us to decentralize more the protocol, but you are getting fees for every transaction executed on Aquarium. So these are the innovations coming.
So do you feel like a lot of people are going to use that kind of tool just for like the fluid community, or is it more open for just anybody that wants to have this kind of cross chain between Cardano and Bitcoin?
No, I think that the demand is strong. Like more and more projects are reaching to us saying, "Hey, what do we want? What do we have to do in order to allow Bitcoin users to play with our platform, or how to onboard users easily?" And therefore, Aquarium is an important block, not just for free tokens, but for any dApp built right now on Cardano, but second, any possible dApp on any chain. So imagine the experience that you have with Odin.fan, but apply to all the dApps that are currently on Cardano.
Gotcha.
So like I'm just curious, like, so how is it going to work? So I have to I'm going to use it kind of like it's like a smart wallet, right? Very similar to what Merlin Chain does, where you just go to this website. I'm going to have a wallet on the website that I connect my Bitcoin wallet to, and that'll actually give me the wallet that has Bitcoin and Cardano in it. And then how do I use the dApps, or how do I use the stuff? Will it be in everything inside that one website?
So the smart account is coming later, so it's not
Okay.
going to be live on Wednesday. But the experience is like this: you will be able to connect to the smart account that is kind of a wallet, but you connect
Yeah.
it with your Bitcoin wallet. You are able to see your balance on Cardano chain and Bitcoin chain, and then from there you will see which dApps are already compatible and interact with them directly from that dashboard without leaving that. And for the user side, you are using your Bitcoin wallet for any interaction. So at the end of the day, you are it's like never have left Bitcoin. So
Oh wow,
the
that's
feeling is,
amazing, man.
yeah, the feeling is having a Web3 dApp experience with smart contracts without leaving the Bitcoin chain.
That's awesome. So like no depositing, I'm guessing, or do you have to kind of send your Bitcoin there?
No, there will be a deposit if you want to use Bitcoin on the other chain, but
Gotcha.
that's actually trustless. Like your Bitcoin over there, you are always able to reach back.
Wow. Okay. This is phenomenal. This is great for Cardano. I mean,
Yeah.
now you're getting that Bitcoin $2 trillion in liquidity, potentially being able to go and use DeFi and not really leave the chain, really, because you're kind of just kind of hanging out, and then you're able to use your Bitcoin on Cardano. I love this. I've been excited about Aquarium for months now, and it's awesome to kind of see it finally launching on this Wednesday. Wow, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys built. I mean, airdrop tool in this, like, how do you guys manage the time, man? It's crazy.
And the real alpha is that for this is for the ones that want to explore the more the other chains ecosystem. But what for the ones that want to stay fully on Bitcoin layer one? Well, we are also building for them. And the thing is this: we right now have a complete infrastructure capable of allowing users to stake in not custodial way. Remember that we have never custody of your assets,
Nope.
and also to get back the rewards in a very simple way. And right now with the airdrop tool, even to reward the user in an easy way. So what we are doing right now and we are working is, okay, but wait, there are a lot of not custodial ways to get yield on top of your Bitcoin, because many layer twos allow you to stake in not custodial way, getting rewards in Bitcoin, right? However, right now the experience is hard. It's not that easy, and in some cases, it's even send Bitcoin to this address, and you have to trust kind of. So what Fluid is doing right now is aggregating all the possible yield opportunities for your Bitcoin, allowing you to stake Bitcoin in not custodial way directly from Fluid, and you are getting yield because we are aggregating all these layer twos possibility or even layer ones that are using Bitcoin. So imagine the experience similar to what, for instance, Babylon has, but on the Fluid side. So you
Yeah.
can say stake Bitcoin for 3 months, stake Bitcoin for 6 months, and then you know exactly how much is your reward how much is the APY, and that's Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yep.
That's incredible. So what is the reward?
The reward is actually Bitcoin, because what happened is that on the backstage we are converting all the rewards in Bitcoin itself, and that's what you are getting.
That's awesome. Like when you can earn Bitcoin, that's like the best case scenario. Let's be honest with that. But yeah, that's exciting stuff, man. I can't wait for that to be rolled out. It looks like we got about 4 or 5 addresses. Unfortunately, we cut off at Sat's name. Is there a way you can grab that one? I have the other 2 loaded up here. I just need Sat's name, and I can't find that one. So maybe you can put it in the chat. Yeah, put it in the chat for me.
That's on X. Yeah, no problem.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen here, guys, before we let Raul go. Let me see here. Remove that. All right, so kind of that same process that you saw, Shizzy. You know, for this, we're going to select Rune. I have the 2 addresses here, and if we can't get that address, I can always do theirs afterwards. But I have the Goose Honk, Zapper Seki, and then we're going to end up doing Sat's name for that 3rd one. But
just give me like 1 second, and I'll just grab it for you. So,
and the next 3rd step while he's grabbing that is you got to pick the rune here. I'm going to pick dog, go to the moon. I don't have to do the manual stuff because it's one that's already whitelisted here. And then you'll hit continue, and
yeah, I'll put them in the private right now. So that's Sats right there.
Okay,
and then this will be Maria.
Well, no, Sats is the only one that we need, so it's perfect, dude. So I'm doing 10,000 each because there's 30,000 for this giveaway. Then you go to the next, you hit continue. There's 3 addresses here. Congrats on those that dropped the address that was paying attention here. Hit start. It says not enough funds in wallet, but it's there.
Interesting.
Wait, it says success now too. No matching script. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah, you're on the wrong one.
No. There it is. Okay, so now I hit start. This should work.
Oh wait, you have to connect again. You have to connect.
Yeah,
again.
you have to disconnect and reconnect.
Gotcha.
When you change your wallet, yeah.
It's good, so we are debugging all the possible issues, and users know.
It's a user error.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I had the same issue.
Definitely user error on this one. Okay, so I connect here. Okay, now I can hit start.
Yeah.
Not enough funds. Why is it doing that?
Interesting.
Yeah. Let me refresh. All right, you have them all in there, right? So I can just go here.
Yeah.
Hit continue. Upload details, add manually. So I'm going to go through the addresses here. Add the address. Go 10,000. And then I'm going to have to grab them from the YouTube real quick, but it won't take me long.
All right.
Yeah, but this is good. Like you said, we're doing it live, kind of learning on the go here. And then hit there, another 10,000, and then one more. If this doesn't work, we're gonna have to do it separate. But no worries, guys. It should be fine here. The last one. What was that first one? It was from Zaperketti.
All right. You got it?
I got that. And then I just need the last one here. You gave me a new one in there.
It's in private chat. Yeah, it's in the Sat's name.
All right. So we'll go there. All right. And then now I can go to select airdrop. Yep. Hit dog. Hit continue. And then hit start. Yeah, it's saying still not enough funds, which I don't understand why.
Try to send me the addresses in the chat.
I mean,
we will check.
I should have enough gas for that. I mean, it's like $15 in there, right? Because it's the regular. How much does it cost? How much did it cost you, Shizzy, to do it?
Not much. A couple bucks.
Yeah. So there might be something in there. Okay, yeah. So I'll send it to you. This is probably something with my wallet.
Yeah.
Maybe it is waiting on the 3 confirmations or something. But anyways, yeah, we'll get that to you guys. Congrats on the win. Sorry about that, but you guys are definitely getting a $10,000 go to the moon there. Cool. Well, Raul, we appreciate you jumping on with us like you do on, you guys are super busy. I know you're in San Fran right now.
Yeah.
I guess, maybe some final words for the community for expectations for Fluid's next step here.
No, absolutely. Feel free to stay tuned for the next week, an Aquarium release. Then we are working and chatting with DotSwap in order to release liquidity for our rune, FLDT rune. And third, if you are in the Bay Area and you would like to connect, feel free to reach us. We are organizing some events, and even tonight there is one. Maybe I will share it with you guys, and in case you can invite anyone that is close in the area.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got
Appreciate
friends out there in San Fran. Maybe you can send it over to Alex or something. So yeah, absolutely awesome.
Yep. And guys, for that Blitz Spaces, I believe Raul's going to join us as well to go over. So if you have any questions about Bitcoin Layer 1 staking, about Fluid, hold on to those questions till 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys in that space.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Raul. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah. Absolutely awesome as always, man. Really appreciate Raul joining us, man. Awesome. What those guys are building is something truly special, I think, with the Bitcoin staking. I mean, and earning Bitcoin yield. Absolutely awesome. But guys, let's kind of jump into our next thing here. Every Friday at 12:30, a little bit late on this, but we apologize for that. But every Friday at 12:30, we like to have our good friends over at Emblem Vault. Emblem Vaults are building some truly amazing stuff as well. AI agent hustle. I mean, we're going to be doing some live trading today. Jake's going to let us hang out with him, hang out with Hustle, and we're going to do some trading. So really looking forward to that. And on top of that, can't really talk about Emblem without talking about their future jumping mechanism, where you're going to be able to jump your NFTs or ordinals to different chains. That's absolutely awesome. So without further ado, let's bring up Jake. Jake, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Appreciate your time, sir.
What's good, guys? Happy Friday, man. I think this might be the first Emblem hour we've done in a while where the markets are actually somewhat hot and not boring.
Yeah. Man. I mean, how are you feeling about the markets? First off, I'm curious. So do you think this continues, or do you think this is kind of a flash in the pan?
I mean, it's still early in the month, and Bitcoin is close to its all-time high, right? So there's room to consolidate, but it does seem like it's back. I mean, the energy has definitely made a dramatic shift in terms of the sentiment. I mean, there's been tons of progress made over the last 4 months or so since Trump was inaugurated. So I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be back. I mean, it doesn't mean we're going straight to bajillion dollars, but I do think like the really tough times are over. I mean, from a macro perspective, some tariff deals are coming in, and on a, I guess you'd say, macro scale of crypto, you have all these stablecoin companies popping up, and more TradFi is coming in. So I've been bullish the whole time. It just seems like now the rest of the market's starting to catch up.
Yeah, and you're actually somebody who predicted this, right? This is something that you kind of were kind of talking about here. Let me 1 second. So back in, I want to say January, we had you on, and you were kind of expecting something like this. This is kind of what you said. I mean, you said we're going to have a couple sideways, and then some upward momentum sideways, and then upward momentum, and then potentially sideways. Do you still think that's going to happen? You think your thesis here, which has been right so far, will continue to be right?
Yeah, on December 31st, I said that we were going to consolidate between 70K and 120K until Q4.
Oh, wow.
So we still have a little while. Means Bitcoin, gets a little bit more into the all-time high territory, but yeah, I just don't see, these like super volatile Bitcoin upward movements where it's going to go straight to 250K. I think it's going to be more of kind of a staired approach, which then gives room or breathing room for altcoins to come back, which I do think that's going to start happening. I mean, you saw Robinhood said they're building their own blockchain, that they're going to start doing tokenized stock trading from the European markets.
Wow.
And Yeah, just couldn't be bullish. I just think I always was under the thesis that this was going to be a longer bull market, like 2 year, or maybe it was like a year and a half ago. Maybe it was last summer. My thesis was that the bull run was going to run until July 4th, 2026, which is America's 250-year reunion. And that was supposed to be also the date of when Doge ended. The Department of Government Efficiency is when that was supposed to be done and concluded. So I still think it's going to be somewhere around there. I know a lot of people think that the top's going to be in Q4, but I think this is going to be drawn out for quite a while. It's just not going to be as violently upwards.
Yeah, very. So you're thinking we're going to have these upward momentum areas of pockets. So let's just say you are right. We get the like 119. We're in Q4. Potentially, we rock it up to 180, right? 190, 200, right? Do you think at that point, do we see like a blow off top that we normally see? Do you think we get into that 250 range very quickly out of the fourth quarter, maybe by like May, like in that type of cycle?
I just don't see the violent move happening. I mean, you have Wall Street and TradFi has been buying between 70K and 100K ish, 110K. So for some of these, funds, when you're buying 10,000 Bitcoin at $80,000, you only need it to go up 20 or 30% before you start unloading it, right? So there's just going to be it's going to be, much similar to the stock market where, these large funds, whether it's a sovereign wealth fund or sovereign wealth fund or a hedge fund or whoever, they only need Bitcoin to go up 10, 20%. They don't need it to go up 100%. So there's a lot of sell pressure every few basis points all the way up.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like also, it's hard for crypto Twitter to accept this new kind of flow of things because it's always been kind of bag holders previous cycle kind of offloading on new bag holders for the new cycle and rinse and repeat, except for now, like the whole Bitcoin's price action is getting thrown off because, like you just mentioned, the institutions come in and it's not kind of a new Bitcoin bag holders for this cycle. It's going to be a continuous, like, new industry acceptance. Maybe is that how you see it too? Like the 4-year cycle is completely going to be different.
I mean, you still have the halving, right?
Yeah.
So that's not going to change. But yeah, I mean, when you look at adoption curves of assets, it tends to be less volatile the longer that it exists, right? This will be the same end state for Ethereum and some of these other coins as just as much as it was gold. If you look at gold in the early days of its trading, it was very volatile in the beginning, and right, it took almost 20 years for it to pass $2,500 or whatever, right? It was stuck at 1,600 forever for like a decade. Then it got to like 2,000 or 2,500 during COVID, and now it's rocketing back up again, right? So it really takes many years for it to pass its all-time high. I think Bitcoin is going to be in a similar trajectory, which just means then it's bullish for alts, right? If Bitcoin becomes a little bit more stagnant, then there's a lot more of that activity is going to flow to newer projects.
Makes a lot of sense. And Ethereum's starting to get aggressive too. And so are you guys seeing, a pickup with, the activity that like hustles right now in Solana kind of trying to dominate the AI, space over in Solana to start off with and eventually expand out? What are you guys seeing over there? Is there a pickup with, memes? Is there a pickup in volume activity?
Hustle definitely has pickup activity. So for some stats, it was like 2,500 unique visitors over the last 28 days. We have about 200 daily active users, and it was down up until about 2 days ago. And now it's like ramping back up. We're getting like 300 requests an hour. This morning, it's pretty high, actually. Activity is quite high. So the trenches are hot, right? When the trenches are hot, people are trading. I mean, I see people posting. Somebody hit an 81x the other day with Hustle.
Whoa.
Yeah. I saw some other people posting about 5x's and 4x's. Like, he's been really good at, identifying tokens really, really early.
So I saw that 81x, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was saying that's what he turned 80,000 into. And so I was like, this dude just like Hustle's about to explode because it said 80,000 to 6.6 million, but it was the 81x from the market cap of 80,000 to 6. But still, it's a humongous win.
And he posted it. He posted that he on Hustle's recommendation, he was buying this token at 80K, and then he exited. It was around like 6 million or something like that.
Oh my god!
Which is a wild win, and regardless, right? Like,
yeah.
Depending on how much he put in, but like I know we were gonna do some, maybe some basic kind of style trading with Hustle today. Like maybe we could share the screen, get into that a little bit, and how to get started from like someone that is familiar with Solana, is familiar with DeFi, but hasn't used a tool like Hustle. What's like step one in getting going to actually creating like a trade?
Yeah, so you can log in with your Magic Eden wallet or Phantom is the first step here. I'll go through a little bit of a tutorial because.
Oh, sorry. Are you cool? Are you cool sharing the screen?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it is a little bit confusing when you first go into this, but excuse me. So Agent Hustle, the way that we built this, and I have this zoomed in a little bit just so for people can see, like that's full view. So if it looks a little scrunch, it's because I'm doing it so you guys can actually kind of see what's going on the screen. So Agent Hustle is what's called a DeFi AI platform. Essentially, it's like a DeFi terminal. Think of it something similar to like a Photon or a GMGN kind of situation, but it has complete AI and LLM capabilities. So what you see here on the left-hand side is what we call mini apps. These are like your traditional kind of experience, right? You have like your balances, your LP positions, the different transactions that have happened on this wallet. You can buy and sell very quickly here, but on the right-hand side, you can actually upload images for Hustle to analyze to provide a different type of, analysis. And then we also have a prompt cheat sheet here as well, just for beginners who maybe are not so familiar with how it works. And within these mini apps, we have, a swap module. Let me zoom out of here just a little bit. So you have like a swap module here, right? So just like you see on Jupiter, where you could swap SOL for USDC, right? You could hit max, like you could do that manually. Same with LPs. We have, Radium. You could come in and deposit. We also have Meteora on here. Unfortunately, only for display only, as Meteora doesn't have public APIs, which I thought was kind of unfortunate, to be honest. So we do have pump fund stuff here. So again, your traditional experience where you could come in, right? Like meme scope, you see newly created, about to graduate, recently graduated. You can actually deploy your own token as well. And everything you see on the left-hand side, you can do with the agent on the right-hand side. So we built something kind of unique here, where we did this crossover where if you see a token that's just graduated, you see this button says details. And so it creates a pre-generated prompt for Hustle to just give different types of statistics. And the reason why we did that is that on the left-hand side, right, people know how to do like these preset buys. People know, like kind of different situations of the traditional experience. But on the right-hand side with an agent, a lot of people get very confused, and it's kind of like analysis paralysis. There's like too much stuff going on. So we try to make this crossover experience between the traditional UX and the future UX of crypto on the right-hand side. And so while he's going in and fetching data for that pump fund token, you can go through the tools. We did the first integration with AI XBT. I believe we were first to the market. So basically everything that you see on his Twitter account, as well as some information in his terminal that is private, I believe, is also posted here as well. I think it's like a few hundred different pieces of information that get posted to this terminal per day. And then with AI XBT, you could ask Hustle, hey, I want alpha on Solana, or I want news on Jupiter. And he'll actually pull data from the AI XBT terminal to provide different types of data. And so here you could see kind of what Hustle does with the different types of coins, right? Where he provides, this nice little graph of this token that was on this recently graduated token in the trenches called Harsh the Mellow, or Harsh the Marshmallow. So it comes in and gives, the market data, changes, holders. And on this, there's a risk assessment. And there's multiple APIs that are being linked in the back end and toolboxes that he's accessing to make this happen. If anyone has any questions on the technicals, you can just reach out to me. I'll save you from that. And some other tools that we have is like DCA. We do have a copy trader that's being built right now. It's actually almost done, waiting on a few things. Limit orders, you could look through the trenches, right, for new tokens. So like the Doodles token, you could come here and click the chart. And so he'll show you the chart here. You can come in and do the same thing with the info button, and then just like a preset purchase. And then this is the uploader. So if you do want to launch meme coins or pump fund tokens with Hustle, you can basically come in here and drop like 10 different images and then say launch 10 different pump fund tokens with these images, and maybe we'll even do that. Create the ticker, create the description, create the name, and then purchase, 0.01 SOL of each of these. And then he could go ahead and do that. I do warn, though, that he's not that great at coming up with creative names, I have to say. At least so far, it's a little bit like, it reminds me of dad jokes. He's like, let's launch like the loser leopard and stuff like that. Like it's like MySpace names back in the day. It's kind of
that's actually kind of funny. That's what I was gonna say. But some of those might actually meme hard. You never know.
Yeah,
because they're so corny or whatever.
And one final thing too. So we haven't announced this yet, but we're actually integrating Launch Lab as well here. Ooh. So that's the Radium launchpad that also does Bonk Fun. It does Boop Fun and all of these other new launchpads. So we'll get the other side of the trenches in here, and so you can really come in and have some fun. And one final thing here: what separates Hustle from all the other projects out there is he has a memory. So he actually remembers all of your conversations that you have with him, as well as all of your on-chain transactions. So what a lot of our users do, there's really kind of two communities that use Hustle. One of them is for kind of like market analysis and news. They come in here and they just want to have a conversation with him back and forth on, hey, what's going on with Bitcoin, or what's going on in the Solana ecosystem or this token, and they kind of conform a thesis. The other side of the user base are traders. And so what they're doing is they're coming with Hustle, and they're providing or they're creating trading strategies with Agent Hustle, where then they store it in his memory, and then they apply it to, the trenches or different types of meme coins that are popping. And so, maybe we could dive into that. I don't know, is there anything specific that you guys want to attempt?
Yeah, so I don't know. Shizzy, do you have anything off the top of your head?
What I was just thinking, like, what I was been doing the last like couple days and stuff, I just take $10 and I just throw it at the first top pump fund tokens with 10x potential, and I've been winning. I've had it here and there anyway. So that's been pretty cool. But like, what strategies are people doing right now that potentially we can help the people who are watching right now?
It's so it seems like most people are using like what's called like a momentum based strategy. So there's actually a website, a community creator website. I think it's like hustlepromptlibrary.io or something like that. That people are using, or people are posting some of their trading strategies on there. So with Hustle, I said, say hi to OnChain Revolution. So he says, hello, OnChain Revolution. Great to see you on the live stream. It's always exciting to connect. I see we've got about 200 live viewers tuning in. I don't know if that number is right or not, but I was just breaking down some stats on the Harsh, the Marshmallow token, one of the recent pump fund graduations, right? What are we looking to cover? And so forth. So, I'll just go through kind of this, just like the trenches. So I'll say, Hustle, you don't have to put that first. That's just kind of for the crowd. So Hustle I see volume is hot in the trenches right now. What are the top trending tokens that have been launched in the past 24 hours? Also apply a filter. We'll say 1,000 holders. We'll say $1 million market cap, or we'll say maybe 100,000. 1,000 market cap, and the chart also needs to be in its first consolidation phase.
Wow. It's a lot of detail.
Yeah, I mean, he gets really good at it. So this is where Adam and I, we've just been testing him, and also just from feedback from users as well. I mean, some people literally, I've seen post literally like 5 paragraphs in there. It's like it gets like really, really specific.
I screenshotted that, by the way. I'm using it later. That's a good prompt. But yeah.
Yeah, you want to screenshot Jake's because this is what he does every day. He's gonna be like the master prompter, man.
Yeah. So
the library website, that was community created?
Yeah. So we actually just launched an MCP server for Hustle. And the SDK is coming live soon. So right now with Hustle, we have a few devs who are using Hustle. They just integrated him into an email, a Discord, and a Telegram for news notification. So we don't have the wallets updated, integrated into it yet. We just have the agent himself. But once we integrate the wallets, then you can basically use Hustle in any DeFi platform that you want. And we have, maybe 5 to 8 different teams who've reached out who want to integrate Hustle into their Solana DeFi platform or platform of some sort. And right now it's mostly traders who are getting Hustle as a notification system because they just want news and market analysis consistently. So what we see here is that he is now recommending us a bunch of tokens, and we can dive in a little bit deeper. So I can ask him once we kind of look at some of these. I need him to provide the links to the charts, but so some of the top ones, and he's generally pretty good and pretty spot on for some of his first token. So Gigant, or was it Gigant? We'll go over to Deck Screener here in a second, so I can kind of show you guys.
Gigant.
Solana.
That's Solana for you.
Yeah, right. So it says that has strong buying pressure. Right, it's showing incredible momentum, and it's consolidated nicely. So we'll kind of look here and see if he has, stood up to what. See here. Hold on, let me post this. So I'm sharing this tab, right? So this is the chart. So he said that, right? The chart looks pretty good, actually. Could also be double top. Who really knows? But the ask was that it's gone through its first initial pump, then went through a consolidation period. And so it's calling this right here a consolidation period after the initial pump. And he said that it has some potential upwards momentum. And so the next one he recommended is Fog. And you can also ask him to look at these inside the Agent Hustle terminal. So here's a 5-minute one, right? This also looks pretty good. It had its first initial pump, came in consolidated. Now it's kind of near its all-time high. And really what traders like with him is that he basically saves you time on having to sit on Photon, having to sit inside of these different types of terminals and, just browsing one by one for all of these for a good setup. He basically provides a setup to you for whatever setup you're looking for if you're a trader. And That's very appealing, and a lot of people, I would say there's probably 5 or 10 people so far that I've seen that are very public in terms of like their wins and strategies, and they're actually pretty open about their strategies, but they're all varying and they're all quite different. So here's another one that's called Your Mom.
That's
so
here,
right. So here's another one, right? It went up and then had its first and then had the first decrease, and now it's in a consolidation period, right? Because that's what I asked him to do.
Yep. And that one seems to be earlier, right? So it's earlier in the consolidation. So it's actually, in my opinion, that one is a little bit more risky, but more upside because you're in there before the second leg up. So that's actually really cool. You can kind of pick, the tokens that already started their second ascension or one that is about to.
Yeah. So we can even go in more. Adam and I have done this before. So you could say, what token themes are you seeing trending in the trenches the last 20?
So Hustle keeps giving me bird eye. Is that like one of the charts is that a good place to do the charts?
Yeah, so bird eye is basically the top real-time market data API service on Solana.
Okay.
So bird eye is powered by, bird eye, a lot of people use bird eye excuse me, for trading terminals and trading stats. The infrastructure on Solana, I have to say, is not that great. It's getting better, but it's still tough. There's like no all-in-one service that provides everything that you need. You have to kind of like pick and choose where you go. And it's been kind of the tough part of Solana, to be honest. It's why it's much easier building on Base and EVM, because they have, 10 years of history almost 10 years of history of providing services. So Solana is a little bit tougher, but with that friction comes opportunity.
Yeah, I agree because it's early. But one of the things that you did on the previous one, you talked about like finding a good setup whenever you are given it details, instructions. I think once you guys add the addition of like if this is coming, perps and stuff like that, man, people are the way he can find this. I think he's gonna be able. You're gonna be able to apply that same approach to perps and leverage if that comes.
Yeah, yeah. So we are the devs right now are working on kind of the final stages of getting LaunchLab integrated, and then we're adding perps, looking into it either through Drift Protocol or through Jupiter. There's not that many perp services that have public-facing services, unfortunately, on Solana, so options are quite limited. And then after that, we're going to be kind of launching the new business model, which is going to be like a combination of, subscription service and tokenomics, and continue to kind of grow from there, which should wrap pretty well with our B2B services with the MCP and the SDK. So that should all probably come online by the end of the month, which should, you think in theory would have an impact on the Tensorium token. That's still at a $2.5 million market cap. It's still, 50 times lower than some of the leading competitors, although we're competing very closely in users. Right, we've had 5,500, almost 6,000 wallets created since we launched on March 17th, so almost 2 months ago, about 7 weeks ago. Whereas like you look at something like Hayanon, that's one of the leaders, their coin is worth 80 million. They only have 11,000 wallets that are created, and they launched in January. And in terms of daily active users, I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't trust what anyone says. The last two teams we talked to said they had 1.7 million daily active users and 200,000 daily active users, which I'm like, okay, I guess the entire crypto space is using your platform. So I would just be weary of what some people say.
Yeah, maybe double, triple check, what the statements are. You're right, because everybody can do the on-chain investigation and all that stuff. So you guys have this kind of multi-chain approach with everything you do. Mm-hmm. I imagine you have that same mindset with Hustle, because I can see Hustle really benefiting by opening up kind of cross-chain through all the popular chains and stuff like that. Is that in the future plans?
Yeah. So it looks like he's timing out. So I'm gonna have to refresh this to see. Yeah. So our next step after we get the kind of business model live, then we want to venture into Bitcoin. Is kind of the primary motive there. I think Bitcoin just is very ripe for an agentic economy that can provide automation and aggregation. What I mean by that is like, Bitcoin doesn't have smart contract functionality, but what these agents do, especially with like multi-agent systems, can provide smart contract like things, right? They can go in and split runes, or they can provide different types of trading strategies for how to trade ordinals, and weigh it against kind of the market. And I just think that's something that doesn't really exist, but those kind of experiences do exist on Ethereum and Solana. So I think agents are really going to revolutionize the way that assets are traded, or native assets are traded on Bitcoin. It's going to take a little while to kind of get there, but overall, I think that's kind of where the future is headed for Bitcoin.
If like something like Slingshot or another smart wallet, in the Bitcoin ecosystem, to where people could use, USDC to buy runes or whatever, but that you can use your Apple Wallet, credit card, etc. Would Hustle be open to, kind of having that partnership type thing to where you just say, hey, Hustle, I want to buy runes with my USDC, and then you have a partnership with that, or that probably wouldn't work? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we can integrate anything into Hustle, right? Because it's built on Emblem Vault technology. So we do have wallets for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Base, Blast, BitTensor, whatever you want. We can integrate it. Obviously, you have to still build the infrastructure around it. And then in terms of partnerships, it all depends on the other business, right? Like media, like I'll use Meteora for example. Meteora is the second or third. I think I would say it's the second most popular LP provider, but they don't have any public tooling. So it's like you have to go to Meteora. Like you can't deposit or you can create a pool with one of their APIs, but you can't get your balance, which means you can't do anything from third parties. So they basically domicile it to just within their ecosystem. And so, there's other businesses that are like that are just very closed source, where they don't, provide third-party tooling to build on top of them. So it really just comes down to the other developers. This is why MCP is very important, because it allows agents to interact with your platform. Like, for example, Cash App just announced their MCP. So you can have an agent go in and basically open up a bank account and buy sell Bitcoin to USD, right? Basically everything you do on Cash App now, you can have your agent go in. And so we're looking into like integrating stuff like that to Hustle down the road, literally on off ramps for agents to go from Bitcoin to USD and back and forth, right? So those kind of things are really important. And then the SDK itself is more on like the kind of crypto side of stuff. And so here I kind of want to show this last kind of question. So I said, what token themes are you seeing trending in the trenches in the last 24 hours, categorized by trading volume, and also provide social sentiment about this? So he comes in, he says that the trending token themes by trading volume, right? Political meme coins are number one right now. Trump with big volumes. Diddy has, that's funny, they classified Diddy as political cultural. Justice for Cleania, I don't know that one. And then Captain Tarifica, which is also the Trump one. So it says social sentiment, right? Extremely bullish with political tokens dominating conversations. The Trump token in particular has seen an overwhelming, right, social media engagement. Second is AI-powered tokens. So AI16Z, something called Help6, and Moby. Moby's a popular one. So he says that AI-powered is, positive, but more measured than political tokens. The AI narrative remains strong. And then animal and meme coins, meme coins are continuing. And then it says bodily function / humor tokens. So Fog, Gigant, Titcoin, Fart, and Shart.
Oh, man.
So extremely bullish with high virality. These tokens thrive on shock value and humor, generating massive, right? And then you have kind of this DeFi stuff. So social sentiment, so social signals, right? High engagement for political tokens, high engagement across Twitter. You know, sentiment's polarized, but overwhelmingly bullish. And then it has the key drivers, and it gives you kind of risk assessment. So you go down and see this. So it's key insights from the trenches. Political identity tokens are emerging as dominant narrative with extraordinary volume. Shock value humor tokens are showing the most explosive short-term growth, but may lack sustainability. Animal memes continue to dominate. And then AI utilities evolving from pure speculation to actual use case demonstration, right? I mean, that's what Agent Hustle and Tensorium token is.
Yep.
And then cross-chain integration is becoming increasingly more important with tokens expanding across ecosystems, right? So it's like, it's very good. And so with this kind of information, you know, there's like a few things you could do. You could say, okay, you know, and maybe we'll do one of these, right? I want more, I want to find some plays within, you know, the political meme coin space, right? Or you could say, okay, Agent Hustle, I want to create, right? If you're a creator, you could say, you know, I want to create 5 or 10 pump fund tokens based off of, you know, category number 4. You know, what do you suggest? And, you know, what could the names be? Maybe we could go that direction just for fun.
That would be
really
cool.
You want to try that?
Yeah, because we haven't done a token creation with Hustle on our stream yet.
Yeah,
So this will be the first. But while you're doing that, I think I was just thinking it's so hilarious. Like, because TradFi is like kind of working their way, adding like little departments of digital currency, you know, asset management companies. And before they would have like their different levels of risk type industries. It would be like, you know, starting from less risky all the way to like innovative tech, speculative. Over here, it's like, you get to the risky part, you're like bodily functions, fart and shark coin. I think it's hilarious. I just imagine one of those meetings.
And will be attractive to the degens to buy. So I said, I want to create some pump fund tokens based on category number 4. What tokens can we launch that will gain some traction and will be attractive to the degens to buy? So this is right. And so we'll go on with kind of the conversation. I'll have to get an image. Unfortunately, he can't generate images. We have that ability. We just don't have it turned on yet because it's actually like quite expensive.
Snort. I like snort.
Burp, sweat, drool. Oh, these are pretty. I mean, he's definitely going for the bodily functions.
All right,
dude.
Yeah.
Snort seems like the best. I don't know.
Yeah. Snort definitely is the funniest. I mean, because the other ones are just regular, like bodily functions. The other one's like a combination. It's kind of like the shark thing.
There could be so many memes made out of it too, right?
But, yeah. So once he's done thinking, it provides kind of the last part here. We could choose one of these and then say, you know, we can have him create descriptions. You could have him create other. We can have him create, you know, more options based off of that one type kind of thing. So he even says, I see some concepts already exist. Here are 3 pump fund tokens that are prime for success. Oh, and he's even giving the concept and stuff.
Dude, I mean that 81x, that's probably the biggest win so far that you guys have recorded, right?
Which one?
The 81x?
81x is the highest I've seen so far from somebody posting. I did see somebody's had like a winning trade of like close to $1,000.
Oh wow.
It was like 5 or 6 SOL or something like that. But with the 81x, right, you have no idea. He could have put $10 and could have put $1 in, right? You don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, turning $100 into like 8,100, that's a solid little, not little, decent win there.
So he says, right. So there is the top pump fund token concepts for bodily humor, snort, a token celebrating the glorious sound of nasal clearance. The tagline's the only token that goes up your nose and your portfolio.
Oh my
A
god.
relatable bodily function with theme potential. Burp, sweat, drool, sneeze. So the 3 winning pump fund token ideas: belch, shart, and moist.
I don't want to.
Oh my god,
So
dude.
belch is the ultimate satisfaction token, a celebration of satisfying post-meal release that's louder and more powerful than the mere burp. The tagline's the loudest gains in crypto. Image idea: a cartoon character with mouth wide open and sound waves emanating. More extreme than existing burp tokens. So if you guys, when we choose one, if either of you have access to, using an AI to, looks like you guys probably sent it already, right? The snort image. Yeah. Good idea.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well,
I give it everyone.
The image.
Yeah. So what we do here is we'll come in and we got to upload the image. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Is there an automatic exit plan too, or no? You have to manually go into all these and say, okay, I'm going to exit at this point.
Yeah, you have to say basically like,
okay,
I'm an exit. We don't have the automation yet.
Okay.
And so let's see if I could find. Oh, there it is. Awesome. So we have the image. So basically what you do here, and this is strictly like a pump fund issue. So you have to come down here and you got to post the link for him to use this. So we'll post the link and we'll say, I want to use this image to launch a pump fund token using, which one did we want to do?
Snort.
Okay, let me see. Using concept.
I didn't want to do an image for Shart. I was a little worried about that one.
Awesome. So we'll see what he says here. And
if this goes to $1 billion, we have 506 people watching right now. Well, in and out, but yeah.
So he says that's a perfect image for Snort token. This cartoon. This cartoon knows is simple, clean, and immediately communicates the concept. This will work great for a meme. Before we proceed with deploying the pump fund token, let me check your wallet information to make sure everything is set up. So he's checking probably like the balance and stuff. We're gonna have him create we'll have him create the description. All right, here. So he has this. So let me set up the token. So the token name Snort, token description Snort. The only the description or token symbol is Snort. Description is the only token that goes up your nose and your portfolio. Wow, he's a degen. He says, I recommend you buying using 0.5 SOL.
Wow,
for liquidity. Yeah, he's going full degen. He wants us to dump on everybody. He's deploying the token, so we'll see.
What's 0.5 SOL?
I hope he doesn't, but 0.45. So for the sake of fun.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
you
share the link.
All in, man.
Yeah.
Snort.
Yeah. So
he's launching it right now. It's already launched?
Yeah, it's launched. Yeah.
Wow, dude, that was so easy. Oh, someone's
dumping it on us already.
Hell, how's that even possible?
That's Shizzy. This is Shizzy's idea. No, just kidding.
And then so you can see on Pump Fund. So the image right here on Pump Fund, it has to do with like a third party thing where it won't show on Pump Fund but it does show
on
the dexes and stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we've looked through that. You can actually see here's the on-chain transaction. So transfer, right? You can kind of see here he bought 450 Snort. And yeah, now we're in action. And so we'll come over here to balances, we'll refresh. And boom, there it is. There's Snort, right?
Dude, that was so easy.
Let me get that contract address, bro.
Right. So you could see right, it is just a red candle. This is kind of usual for most of these tokens.
How they start?
How they start, yeah. So it's only down because you could check here. So if I hit max, right? Oh, it looks like, let's see if I can even sell any of this. It's like it's 0, I guess. So the value of it's 0 because I maybe got MEV'd or something, or you just need people to buy it. So the market cap right now, 4.8 thousand. We'll see if anyone buys it. But yeah, so that's how you get to launching pump fund tokens. And so he says he even gave us like a marketing strategy here. So share the pump fund link in Telegram groups, create simple memes using the nose image, sniffing out gains, use humor in your messaging, and then emphasize the category connection to successful tokens like fart. Next steps, monitor your token's performance on pump fund and watch for early buyers. Consider adding more liquidity, and then engage with early holders. So your snort token fits perfectly with the currently trending bodily function.
Yeah.
Games.
So I think that's cool for research to like, you know, come up with like maybe like one or a couple tokens that you really want to see if you can have the skill set to push. But then like let's talk about like, could this be a strategy for like just doing this on the daily? Because we know that people already do it like manually, right?
Yeah.
There's
I think it can. I mean, there hasn't been too much demand on it to start, to be completely honest. But we'll, you know, I think as the AIs improve and as this process becomes a little bit more kind of automated and easy to do, like for example, if once we enable him to have the ability to generate his own images, you could literally just have him do it all in one. Right now, it's a little bit clunky where it's like you have to take the image, right? You have to upload the image to the link and then kind of do all of that stuff. But it's cool. You know, it's once we launch or once we integrate Launch Labs here in the next few days, their SDK is actually a lot better than Pump Fund. So there's a lot more tooling to make it a more frictionless process. And I suspect this will be something that's attractive maybe 3 months down the road, 5 months down the road, once just DeFi AI is a little bit more popular and, you know, people are more familiar with kind of the tooling. Right now, it's a little bit more of a novelty.
Yeah. And Launch Lab actually does have their own kind of like networks, right? Because of like the bonk and all that stuff. And so it could catch up, it could take off, but it, you know, it because of its network, and that'd be cool to have that option with Hustle as well.
Yeah, Radium reached out to us. They asked us to integrate it personally. So we were like, okay. So they sent us all the details. They saw that we launched the Pump Fund stuff and they were like, dude, it'd be awesome if you integrated Launch Lab into this. And we were like,
yeah,
okay,
that's a good indicator, man. That's showing like you guys already kind of show the mind share of that Hustle's been able to take in AI, but like Radium's a big project, and for them to want you guys integrated, I think that's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think so as well. Just need some, you know, some kind of like co-marketing efforts and stuff like that. But I'm excited for it. You know, I'm excited for the future. We have a lot of different plans that we want to do. There's right now, there's currently a lot of interest around the MCP server and the SDK. People want to integrate it into their platform. So we're just trying to build that up and get everything kind of stood up. And I would say by this time next month in June, I think the platform will be in a completely different place because we'll now have a month of development or outside development or third-party development building on it. Because one of our goals here is for Hustle to be kind of the router of the AI space, similar to like how Uniswap is the router for DeFi on Ethereum. Jupiter is the router for DeFi on Solana. Chainlink is the router for oracles across all the spaces, and OpenSea is kind of the router for NFT trading, right, on Ethereum. So I think there's like a gigantic, probably multi-billion-dollar opportunity for that to happen with AI. And you know, again, we're first to the market to do it. Obviously, we're a much smaller team than everyone else who's raised like $1 bajillion to do this, but we're competing, and in some areas, we're actually winning. So, you know, being diligent, having a grassroots movement, and actually finding real users and not inflating your shit to oblivion through, you know, random token incentives and just kind of lying about the numbers. I think people really value that authenticity. So we're just going to continue to move forward every day like we did yesterday.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are in a perfect position to see what happens next, because you guys, I mean, I don't know, is any of these are doing pump fund tokens? Like, I don't think that any of them are really kind of doing pump fund at all. Like, nothing's this degen, right?
No, when you look across the space, right? So I kind of consider there's like a core 5 DeFi AI projects. It's like us, BankerBot, Griffin, Hanon, and Wayfinder. There's a few others that are starting to come online. Now that we've all kind of been around each other for 4-5 months now, starting to see a little bit of separation in terms of where people are building. Like Banker's absolutely crushing it. I would say they're probably doing the best overall in terms of like actual real authentic users. If you're just looking aside from the token price, which I don't think is a great indicator of like actual usage of the platform.
No,
it never is, right? So Banker's doing great with like the social trading aspect. They just did that like NFT mint, which was super cool, where you can actually mint by tweeting.
Oh wow.
It was super cool. Yeah, it did like a 5K mint. You just tag the bot in the collection and say mint me, I think it was like 5 OK computers or something like that. And it worked pretty well on base. It looks like Hanon is moving into something called HUD, where it's like a browser extension that you can you can lay over centralized exchanges, which applies like AI generated indicators for trading, like take profits and Fibonacci's and stuff like that. Wayfinder's gone down this path of token of like staking your token to build these paths. It's still in beta though, so it's like, you know, they have a lot of hype, but no one can use the product. So I'm really uncertain until I try it. And I noticed with Griffin, they're doing more of the like agentic marketplace, where with Hustle, we want the opposite approach. Hustle, it's like you get one agent, one experience, right, and one kind of memory. Griffin chose something that's more of, it's called the agent marketplace, where you have one agent who does one specific thing. So you have like one agent for order limits. You have one agent for, I think they do have token launches on there, but in there's like 50 or 100 different agents that you have to choose from to do the specific tasks. So those are kind of like the paths that everyone's choosing. Now there is some separation, and we're going more of the route of one AI companion for everything kind of idea.
I love that.
Yeah, it's for us, it was just, that's the simplistic approach when we were investigating different platforms and how to build Agent Hustle. We felt it was very off to just have an LLM terminal, because it just, you weren't really sure what to do. And even if you're an advanced trader, like I was sitting on a few of these platforms, and I was, even as me, who's been in the space for 9 years, I'm just like, what do I do with this, right? And so I'm like, if I'm still confused, then everyone else is definitely going to be confused. And then on the other side of it, doing the many agents who do one task, you can obviously be much more efficient and performant. But I also thought that was confusing, where it's like, and also very cumbersome, where it's like I have to continue to click all these different spots for all these different agents. Everyone just wants one person that they can talk to. And actually, very surprisingly, there's come out a big user base that uses Hustle specifically for just talking to. Like, they don't even do trading. Like, they literally just sit
I had
there.
a stressful day today in the market.
Literally.
Like,
I'm not joking. There's probably a few hundred people out there who literally just open up Hustle and they just ask him about market news, and then they just kind of conform a thesis on where to go, and they don't even really trade. And then on the other side of it, we have these people who are using him to create these strategies, saving it in the memory, and then finding tokens and buying tokens. And the next step for that side is the automated selling aspect of it, which we're going to get to. Hopefully you can have that live, by next month or so. It's like 50-60% built already. Just got to tackle some of these kind of larger infra things before that happens.
Yeah, man, this has been so cool, Jake. Thanks for spending some time with us and our audience, man. Really appreciate this every single Friday, man. But love to give you the stage one last time to kind of talk to our audience, if anyone doesn't know where to find you.
Yeah, please just check out Agent Hustle. This is where we're putting all of our focus in. Also, just on the Emblem side, we are going to be launching on base here pretty soon. The devs are that's like their main task right now, is actually getting this the Emblem Vault SDK live so that we can have our bulk minting tool and stuff. It's been tough assembling the older system to the newer system, but yeah, so that the Emblem stuff will be online. But I would just appreciate if you just went to agenthustle.ai, checked it out, you threw up some tweets, in support, or just even your thoughts about it. And buy some Tensorium, because there's going to be some things that are coming here pretty shortly. And we're not leaving the token behind.
Love it. Love it. And guys, give your feedback too after you try out Agent Hustle, because that's the biggest and the most important thing, in my opinion, for these builders, that get the feedback, because they want to build for you guys, the user, to make sure it's a good experience. But Jake, we appreciate you joining us every Friday. Can't wait to the next one next week. But until then, we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, have a good weekend, guys. And thank you, everybody.
All right.
See you, Jake.
Bye.
I mean, dude, what a show. Absolutely crazy show today. I mean, we had amazing on-chain hour, followed by Fluid Friday, right into the Emblem hour. Absolutely amazing. 2.5 hours hanging out with you guys. Really appreciate 536 people in here right now. Appreciate every single one of you guys, man. And hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yep, exciting times. And I just want to shout out Jake again. Thanks for him, and Raul from Fluid for joining you guys. But if you guys could check out our partners, we greatly appreciate that. Sats Terminal is the aggregator DEX for runes and the Bitcoin fungible marketplace, right? Or market, I should say. They're going to be doing some really big things with bridging and staking in the future, but you're going to find the most liquid and the best price for your runes utilizing Sats Terminal. And you can actually earn Amber points, which is going to be a big part of their alpha announcement in the future. So if you head over to satsterminal.com, I believe it is, you can utilize the swap there. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin's tech stacks to be able to work together for you guys to be able to use your Bitcoin to place bets in their markets. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets in their Blitz markets, which is a 10-minute kind of perps and leverage experience where you pick the price for either Bitcoin, Solana, or BNB to go up or down. And you lock that in within a 10-minute clock countdown, and then wait 10 more minutes and to see if you were correct or not. Also, some future features come in: create your own markets, earn 1.5% of the total volume, as well as refer a friend. We can earn, I believe, 1% off of their total volume. So just be ready for their big announcement that they have coming up very soon, and their new dashboard and interface. If you visit betbtc.win, you can start by just signing up for an account, and you get 50 points right away. And then Emblem Bot, we just talked about this with Jake. They are really focused in on the AI side of things with Agent Hustle. You can use right now to help you trade on Solana, as we saw. They will have Bitcoin's tech stack integrated eventually, and that's where you can kind of use their vaulting with Hustle to help you vault. But you're going to be able to vault your ordinals from Bitcoin Layer 1 to different ecosystems and chains like Abstract, Base, he just mentioned, Merlin, etc. There's going to be a lot of areas to where you can do this, and eventually Solana. So exciting times for that team. And don't forget, they have a Rune TGE in September that you can actually participate in a pre-sale environment on OpenSea right now. If you search Emblem Founder Vaults, then you'll be able to see the NFT there, and it acts as a pre-sale to where once the TGE comes, the team will give you instructions on how to get those runes into your Bitcoin wallet. Head over to emblem.vision, and you can dig in and really learn what they have to offer to the space here. And then Artura is a perps and leverage DEX for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungibles like Doggo to the Moon, Billion Dollar Cat, Ordi, Sats. These are starting to pick back up because alts seem to get some energy lately, and hopefully that will build up that momentum. But they're going to be launching very soon on a Bitcoin Layer 2 Hemi, which is backed by Binance Labs, as well as a Botonix Bitcoin Layer 2. And this can be exciting times. There's going to be a lot of kind of co-marketing happening. So you're going to be able to trade there. You're going to be able to earn by adding liquidity to the platform as well. If you head over to artura.finance, you can really see how you plug in to their community, and head over to their Discord as well to ask any questions. And then Fluid Tokens, we had Raul on all the way from San Francisco. He's at Draper University. That's the thing. A lot of our builders, man, they're always like learning how to build, going to different events, opportunities. And that's what he's doing in San Fran right now. We just saw the airdrop tool. So you can utilize that if you are a founder. But they are the first to offer staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1. You're going to be able to unlock your doggo to the moon very, very soon, about 18, 17 days, once we get close to that Bitcoin 2025 conference, guys. So if you're a founder of a collection and you want to get a staking vault for your community, head over to their Discord. That's where they're telling us to send you guys, because they have a team there waiting for all your questions. Also, don't forget about Aquarium. You heard Raul break that down. It's going to be the seamless bridging from Bitcoin to Cardano and vice versa. So head over to fluidtokens.com. You can click on the Bitcoin side or the Cardano side, whatever side you want to learn more about, but you can get educated by utilizing their site and heading over to their Discord. And then the smart wallet, Tokyo Smart Wallet that we recently partnered up with. Don't forget, about 30 minutes from now, we're going to be co-hosting their Blitzes Spaces for their second one, which is going to focus on staking. So you're going to have protocols like Fluid. I believe Cha-Ching is going to be on there. There's going to be multiple different Bitcoin ecosystem applications for you guys to learn about. But the Tokyo Smart Wallet their focus is multi-chain smart wallet. And right now their focus has been Bitcoin and allowing people to be able to swap for runes directly on the smart wallet app. They did partner with Sats Terminal, so that's how you're able to do that. They're really trying to get all the, really highly utilized applications integrated with their smart wallet, guys. It's really easy to use. You can go to App Store, the Apple App Store, or the Google Play Store, download it, give us your feedback, we'll pass it over to them, or just give them your feedback directly. Their whole goal is to make the experience as easy and seamless for you guys. So super excited about them. You can just go to tokyo.io, learn how to download that wallet, and let us know what you think. And then Merlin Chain is the Bitcoin layer 2 that has been focusing on uniting Bitcoin strength with the power of AI. They have their Wizard 0.3 that's going to be released very soon for the public to help you, guide you through Merlin Chain with Merlin Scan, all the Merlin applications. If you're a builder, you can actually get it integrated into your. Oh, it is live now. Awesome.
V3 is live.
Yep. So you can utilize that. You can see some of the functions there: staking, cross-chain bridging, stuff like that as well. But the biggest opportunity that I see right now on Merlin Chain is to stake your Merl tokens. That's what I'm doing. You can earn 15% APR on that right now to help secure the chain. There's going to be some new apps that are going to be coming to this ecosystem, but we're going to hold off on that. Let them announce that first. We just know about them. So there's big things coming, guys. And you have to also understand, yes, some of the activities slow down a little bit on the chain, but it's because there's a lot of stuff moving behind the scenes. And with them being a part of Wrap BTC's DAO, as well as MBTC being on Say Chain and other, I think BNB as well, that is an increase of TVL that will be to the chain, and that attracts users. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the future with them. But head over to merlinchain.io and you can learn about staking. You can learn about the Wizard as well directly from their site. Lastly is our integrated partners in Foxy AI building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, as well as their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker. We live stream it every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a fun time. Everybody's invited. All you need is a supported Bitcoin wallet, which is most all of them, and then Phantom and MetaMask as well. And then Ordinal Hive is an Ordinal aggregator marketplace. Cheapest Ordinals around will be on Ordinal Hive, Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. And they have amazing trading tools as well. So make sure you check that out. Thank you guys so much for checking us out today. All 540 of you guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, huge crowd today, guys. Really appreciate you guys really hanging with us going into this late Friday, 1:30. You got Bitcoin sitting at around 103,000. Definitely feel the energy. Definitely feel it, guys. But if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChain Revolution.io, we have some of the best articles dated all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. And guys, if you guys need a VPN, we have the best VPN. That is Nord. I use it every day. I use multiple accounts because I have 2 accounts now, because each account gets you about 5 VPNs. I have a crap load of devices, and I want to make sure every device has a VPN stored with it, and it's super cheap. I think I paid $3 a month, which is like $36 for the year. Locked it in for 2 years. Set it, forget it. Don't have to worry about it anymore. But definitely check that out in our link here. If you guys are going to Bitcoin at 2025, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but do not wait any longer, guys. Get them as soon as possible. I'm sure they went up in price today. Don't wait any longer. Get them today. Use our link. It really helps the show. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto. Check out our store tab right on the site. It'll take you to our Shopify third party. Everything is here, guys. Everything you guys need for any event. Check it all out. Shirts, hoodies, and so much more. I really appreciate you guys checking out OnChain Revolution and .io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday.
Peace.
OnChain, 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 OnChain Revolution roll call, market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go, Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.